Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
We definitely weren't pretending to be Twitch streamers before we went live.
How does one pretend to be a Twitch streamer exactly?
All right.
We were angling your camera down a little bit, talking about how you don't want donations, but I'll take one. We were doing that.
I give you money, please.
I might go to my Amazon wish list.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
That sounds like an awfully privileged thing to do, Jesse. Watch out for that. Welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. This is the show for the 2nd of December 2014. Dodger is not here, and it's Time Warner's fault. Again.
I don't believe that for a minute. Don't believe that for a minute.
Are you kidding me? It's Time Warner. I'll believe anything involving Time Warner, except the phrase Time Warner worked perfectly today.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Girl just wanted to sleep in her bed with
She just wanted to sleep in. She had a late flight last night. She just landed and wanted to sleep in.
Wasn't the plane broken? Yeah, because I heard one of the motors isn't working out. What? That's pretty serious. So they had to deplane apparently. So hell, if she got back late, I don't blame her.
I've never had a flight have crazy shit happen. All my flights are just hey, we're good to go. One time it got delayed a few hours, and that was it.
One time our flight dropped several thousand feet because we hit a negative pressure pocket in the middle of the Atlantic. Whoa. That was fucking fun. No, it wasn't. That was what fucking terrified the shit out of me, and now I hate flying, so yeah. Screw that. That's terrible. I don't like planes.
Wow.
Oh.
Everyone's had really bad. My parents were talking about how they hit a bird and a bird went into the engine one time and their plane almost crashed. I've never had a problem, which means, Crendor, I hate to break it to you, we're going to be on a flight together that crashes. We're going to die.
This is the plot for the next Final Destination movie right here.
Yeah, we've lucked out too many times. We're going to be
as long as Nicolas Cage just stands up and he's like, I got this, guys. I'll be happy.
Oh, no, we're dead. He's an actor.
I was going to say, what's he going to do? Fix the engine? What? He's going to climb out of the plane and find the bird, pick it out, feather by feather.
I don't care that he's not going to save the plane. I want that to happen.
Yeah, as we crash.
And then just nothing happens and he dies
anyway.
All
my fears will come together. We'll crash and a giant shark will come up and eat the plane as we crash. End of story. And I was like, I knew this was going to happen. That's how we die.
Jesse, I have a new test for you. You, the master of the Star Wars lore. I have 2 new spaceships from the X-Wing miniature series. Should we play the identification game?
Sure. I'm not sure I'll get these.
You might not. We'll see. So we have one of these. There we go.
Oh, crap. That's the ship from Shadows of the Empire. I just don't remember the name of it. I don't remember the name of it, though.
It's the YT-2400. It's
there's no way.
Kind of the latest model from the because the Millennium Falcon was the older one, and then you probably won't get this one. This is so far out of the realms of possibility in the expanded universe. We got one of these right here.
Oh, God. It's definitely obviously it's an Imperial ship.
Yeah,
and
nice and spiky.
When was this? When is this post Return of the Jedi?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh well, then I would say that's probably too far out for me. That's probably when they were fighting the aliens, the Yuvong Chong or whatever they were called.
Yeah. This I believe the only time this was used was actually in Star Wars Galaxies Jump to Lightspeed. It's the VT-49 Decimator.
Oh shit! Wait, that's cool. A Galaxies thing?
Yeah. I believe that was when it first was shown off. Yeah.
I would never get a Star
Yeah,
Wars
I mean that's too far. I don't blame you for that one little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't get it either because I never played Galaxies. Crendor, you're also here. Hi.
Really big nerds.
What? No,
hello.
Dude. Don't tell me you didn't get some feels from the Star Wars trailer. You didn't have a moment of I can appreciate this.
I was excited about it. I was like, this looks cool. I'm not oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever happening in my life. But I was like, all right, I'm excited for it.
Anyone who said that has
Shade
no
in chat
life.
says Jesse needs to buy a bunch of Warhammer 40,000 tanks and test TB next time. That's a very bad idea. You will lose. You will fucking lose. I've been playing a video game this week that has about 27 variants of the Lehman Russ, and I can name each and every fucking one of them. Don't.
Here's the problem. Not only would I lose out in that competition, I'd lose out on money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Warhammer 40,000 tanks is enjoy being homeless. Come on.
Yeah, wow. No thanks. Pass.
Stupidly expensive game. Holy crap! You know,
He wins. He wins.
That's why I like playing X-Wing. I hate assembling and painting models, and I hate expensive shit. Well, X-Wing is none of those things, relatively speaking. You know, yeah, some people might say that model's expensive. Not compared to 40K, it fucking isn't. You have no idea. Holy crap! What a money sink.
And somewhere I have, it's in like an old chest of stuff somewhere. I have old Micro Machines versions of all the stuff that you have, all the Star Wars ships.
Yeah.
But it has like the Sun Crusher and it has like all those awesome, I was like, yeah, expanded universe stuff. So somewhere I'll find that one day and then I'll pull those out and be like, what's this? And you'll be like, that is obvious. You're an idiot. I'll be like, oh.
I'll be actually enunciating it like that as well. That is obvious. Star Wars
obvious answer.
It knows you all. Knows everything you have. It knows what's inside your mind.
Get out!
By the way, I counted. This is my 15th podcast.
Jesus Christ. You are the
15.
perpetual third wheel, aren't you?
I am, and I accept that role.
You're our rebound.
I am.
You're a
Honestly.
rebound.
You really
You're a
are.
booty call. You're our podcast booty call.
We
When we
settle
need it,
for you,
you're right there.
Crendor. We
You're
settle
right
for you.
there.
I'm the best settlement around.
Oh, my.
You are.
Oh dear, oh dear. Welcome to the Corruptional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Come at the show, we'll be talking about the games we've been playing this week or attempting to play. Then we'll talk about the news, and then we'll just leave.
Yeah.
Yay.
Pretty much. I'm still kind of getting over a cold at the moment, so I'm a little croaky, unfortunately, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So
You're wearing a robe.
Yeah, I am. Oh, yes. Past couple of podcasts, I've stopped giving a shit, so I'm just wearing dressing gowns for the shows
I like that
now.
about you. I like that about you. You have,
Good, man.
You've just given up a little bit. I'm okay with that. You're like,
Yeah.
F.
It's also possible that it could be because of the arcane sorcery of
Oh, man.
Of
this
Just
book
bring
of
it out.
chaos right here. There we go.
what? Why do you have that?
It's because it is filled with the power of chaos, obviously. Look at the thing. Look at it. It's an arcane tome. The
you open it?
the 8-pointed star of chaos emblazoned on its back.
Does it open?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's got a book in it. You see? Yeah.
Oh. I see.
I mean, you probably can open it, but it requires arcane sorcery and possible demonic sacrifice. It's heresy, basically. Like it's like a 10-pound box of heresy right here. Yeah.
You have to make summons
Try
to our
explaining that one at the Golden Gates, you hypocrite.
to make sacrifices to our God and Savior Lord Jaraxxus.
Golden Gates. Are you suggesting we go McDonald's drive-through right here? Drive the Golden Gates.
No, those
and
are
ask
the
for
arches.
McRib.
Those are the arches. Also, pearly gates. That shows you how little I know about
Golden
religion.
Gates. What the fuck?
You have to summon. You have to
The golden
sacrifice 3 Big Macs to Lord Jaraxxus, in which he brings forth his book of the Aerodar Legion.
The Burning Legion. No, we're not doing
brought
that.
the Big Macs.
You brought
The Golden Arches sacrifice.
trifling gnome. Your McFlurry will be your undoing.
Literally, it's gonna give you heart disease.
Yes, you will get diabetes. Eventually. Not now, but eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I also got, this is my favorite Bioshock game, by the way. This is Bioshock The Siege of Columbia, the board game. There you go.
You haven't even opened it.
No.
I mean,
No,
how do you
not
know it's
gonna
your
open it.
favorite?
Well, I mean, it can't be any worse than Infinite.
I guess, yeah, all right. I missed that joke. I missed that joke. All right.
It's a little plastic blue songbird that's in there. Look at this. Look at it. It's got a little plastic blue songbird.
That
in
was
it.
on like super duper sale on the Irrational Games website
Yeah,
like the other day.
it
I got
was
an
on-
email from them. They were like, "Do you want a $250 statue of the Luteces?" I was like,
no.
I mean, no, but okay.
no. Yeah, I heard the board game's pretty good. So
Crendor.
give that a try. We'll see how it is.
I forgot about that at McDonald's.
What?
I'm still talking about
we
McDonald's.
made a sandwich for
The
Yeah,
McDonald's.
we made a
Crendor.
sandwich.
McCox and Crendor is
Is it bland? Like,
no.
do you not get anywhere near enough of it for your money?
It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate and disgusting. Is what it's.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, what's the difference
bland-
between that and regular McDonald's? Like,
Well, it is
It goes
bland, but it's
beyond.
covered up by barbecue sauce. Based that it's a McRib, and then you stick a jalapeno McDouble inside that McRib and eat it together.
Yeah.
That's what a McCox and Crendor is.
It literally
That's
just tastes like
awful.
barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it has no taste but barbecue. The barbecue sauce is so tangy and awful. It just tastes like that.
I ate one on WoD launch night, and I thought it was all right.
It's not all right. It is not good.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not like
He just had to wash the taste of it from his mouth, and he hasn't even had it. He just started downing water because he's like, I can't.
I'm eating cherry cough drops. I don't even like cherry, but it's better. It's just better.
What kind of are they? Ricola? I like Ricola.
Holes.
Halls.
Right. Oh fuck! Whoa, that's a search results box. We don't want that. There we go. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
What?
I accidentally pressed I think like F6 or F7 with the thing of halls, and it brought up this giant search box over the Skype window. It was a bit weird.
Oh. Oh wow, that whited
in it.
out.
Oh yeah, no, I see it now. Yeah, I see it. That was wonderful.
I was wonderful. Everyone loved it. All right,
made the podcast a little bit better.
Okay, so who's been playing Dragon Age? I know you have, Jesse.
I have.
Yeah.
Cool. We can talk about that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do we start, boss man? Let's talk.
I don't know.
Okay,
I've played for 41 hours so far. I feel like I've just kind of started.
I was the one thing I've been told countless times, because I'm an obsessive when it comes to like completing.
Let me
things
guess, you're still in the fucking hinterlands, aren't you?
Look, I'm maybe. Here's
your Let's Play is going to be the most boring shit if you stay in that zone. Seriously.
So what I've been told many times is that you just can't complete the hinterlands, and I think it brings up a weird gaming design philosophy.
What do you mean
I'm really
you can't
curious.
Complete it?
Well,
Or you
I
mean
think
that
level...
you shouldn't, or that you literally cannot?
No, that the way the hinterlands is such a big zone that there are certain things you just can't do till you hit certain level marks.
Well,
and you have
there's
to go
like
to
level
areas.
12 rifts and shit in there that you can't beat.
Yeah, there's a
if you're low
dragon
level.
you can't kill till later. Like, there's a bunch of different things in the hinterlands you can't do right away. And so I'm curious why, because when you think back to other RPGs, an area like that is usually later in the game. And in the beginning, it keeps you very focused on going a certain direction, getting the story, getting the information out. And in this game, it did it at the beginning. And so it gives you this huge open world area to explore. And for me, I'm like, oh, well, F it. I'll just go explore and see what there is to do. And there's so much to do. You're like, whoa, is the rest of the game like this? And it's not, which is weird.
Some of it is. How many hours have you put in so far?
Oh, God. I don't even... I'll go to Steam and look that up right now.
All right, because, I've put 41 in up to this point. And more often than not, a lot of zones they're not as big as the hinterlands. Most of them, but some are. Some fucking are as big as that.
But they're much more focused. But even though they're as big, they're more focused.
Some are, but I wouldn't say all of them are. A lot of them that you unlock are just giant, unfocused. Like, you're in the desert. Shit's going on. Go find out.
But you have an objective, right? Like,
yeah, but you had an objective in the hinterlands as well. You've got to hunt down.
Was like get reputation with people. Like,
well, your objective is to help the refugees and stop like the fighting between the rebel mages and the Templar. Like, that's the objective of the hinterlands.
Anything is an objective. Collecting bear asses is an objective.
Unfortunately, yes. And the hinterlands literally has that quest. It's collect 10 ram skins.
Ram meat, yeah, something like that.
Those are annoying as shit because those things run away from you. So you got to make sure you get your archer to shoot the bastard.
But I think it's safe to say that every other zone, no matter how you view them as you know what they are, they're infinitely better than the hinterlands, and the hinterlands is the starting experience. So I'm curious why that is.
I don't know.
And I'd like to know.
I really don't. Like, some of them are, but I think it's just sheer size. The hinterlands has so many dump quests that are really, really dull. It's got. But a lot of the other
posts.
Beep.
Go on. For it. No, like, isn't that just other posts? Like, that's things you would expect to do when you're level 42 in a single player RPG, and you've now gained access to like open world areas, and you're doing completion stuff before you take on the final boss or whatever. At least that's like what it's usually been. And I'm just really curious why this is the way they set it up, because I hate to break it to the internet. I don't care. I'm going to complete all the things in the hinterlands. I don't give any shits. I'm going to do everything there is to do, and I'm going to defy you, and I'm going to have fun doing it. And so far I'm having a blast doing it, but everyone was like, everything's so much better. And I'm like,
I don't think it is. I think it's better. but I don't think it's so much better. I think it's an improvement in some cases. There was some cool stuff going on in the desert that I found. Like, I came across this, like, temple and shit was going on there, and I went through that, and that was kind of interesting. And there was a fort that I had to liberate, and that became, like, an operations base in that zone, and then it gave me quests associated with that, which was kind of neat. That felt like I'd actually done something, whereas in the Hinterlands, it doesn't feel like you've done fucking anything. Everything that you do has basically no consequence whatsoever to the vast majority of things that are happening. And yeah, a lot of it just feels like busy work. And the thing is, a lot of the game feels like that. I think it's starting to get there, but I'm 40 hours in. I would have expected to start getting there a little bit earlier than that. It's
a weird gameplay philosophy they have of this game, and we've seen it in the past with a few different games that are like, it takes 20 hours to get going. And I wonder why people think that's something that, because it goes against everything that gamers expect now.
It
Most
goes
games
against
that come
what
out,
Dragon Age Origins set the expectation of.
Yeah.
Like, the great thing about Origins is it started off strong, because it started off with your origin story, and it made you feel like personally invested in it. Like, you started as a city elf, you immediately get confronted by this racist stuff, which is what they promised. It was actually, I love that. I played the city elf, and the subplot, way how you start, and the way that the racism is integrated into it against the city elves is really interesting. And in fact, all the origin stories in that are pretty damn interesting. But in this one, they start you off with a kind of generic, oh no, things are going wrong. And then you say, okay, we have the Inquisition now. Go to the Hinterlands. And then you just kind of aimlessly wander it. And I think people's expectations of that game are going to vastly change depending on how much they just pursue the story and how much they hung around in those zones. Because I think people like us, we're MMO players. We're kind of completionists.
I love it. That's why I love it. Yeah.
And that's why I was able to endure it for longer. But looking back at it, I wasted probably 10 plus hours in zones I had no business being in, doing stupid shit, collecting shards, picking fucking herbs, when really what I should have done is done the storyline at the bare minimum, got to Skyhold, and then started playing from there, because that's when all your companion quests start to unlock, which is a shitload more interesting. That's when you get to do a lot more of the plot stuff, you get to upgrade your Skyhold and stuff, that's awesome.
That was my biggest problem with it, is like, I'd never played a Dragon Age game before, like before this one came out. So I was like, I'm gonna stream it, and then I'll see what I think. And then,
so you also had no clue what you were getting. I hate to break it to you. Dragon Age 1 2 has a lot of lore, like a lot of backstory. You would have been like, I don't.
It's pretty generic lore, though. You really don't need to understand much about it. I mean, they nicked most of the stuff from Warhammer.
If you're shouldn't they at least have some sort of intro into the lore, like, so I know what's happening? Because like, you just jump, it's like, hey, you got a mark on your hand and shit's going down. I'm like,
that
okay.
actually has nothing to do with the lore. You wouldn't have learned anything about that.
All right, but like, so I get started and I'm like, all right, I'm playing through, and after like an hour of playing, I was just like, I feel like I don't want to like keep playing. Like, it has that feel of just like, I don't really want to keep playing. So like, I was doing all that, and I feel like it's because that MMO style, I get that urge just like it's another MMO game, and I'm like, I could be playing WoW and like doing something progressive.
Dragon Age
in WoW
Inquisition
instead.
to me is almost literally the Old Republic. It really is. You could play the Old Republic in the same way. But, I mean, there's probably more grinding in the Old Republic, honestly, but the choices and the story-based stuff, that's all already in the Old Republic, and you can very much play that MMO as a single-player game with a storyline. And Dragon Age almost felt like an inversion of that. It's almost like it should have been an MMO, but it's a single-player game. But a lot of the design philosophy is MMO-like. It's like, here's these big open zones where nothing's really happening, and we're going to fill them with side quests and collectibles and crafting stuff, and you're going to wander around exploring and finding those things. And occasionally you come across something which is really awesome. But most of the time you come across something which is an exclamation mark, and it's like, oh, there's something on this corpse, go deliver it, or go to this area. And it's very MMO-like, and compared to Origins, I think that's a huge step backwards. Huge step.
That's what I did. Is like the chat was like, "Go play Origins. Go play Origins."
Is great.
And I was like, "All right." So I started playing Origins, and I was like, "Oh my god, this game is amazing."
Better. Yeah, because
like I just right from the start, I was like, I actually care about what's happening. There's like you're in this weird demon world. There's like a sloth demon bear. He's just like, go do shit. I'm like, whoa, this is cool. And then you like get to the guy who like can't even, and then you get to that place and you talk to that guy that can't like think with emotions, and he's just like, "Hello, I am here."
Crendor, best storyteller
like,
ever. You know that well slot thing, and there's a guy who does a thing.
That's like it's like the fun of playing a new game that you've never played. And I was like, this feels like an experience I've never had before, and that's what I felt with that. And then with Dragon Age Inquisition, I felt like this feels like I've done this before, and that's what I didn't care about it.
Yeah, sorry, Jesse, go ahead.
I think it's interesting that I don't know what this says about me. Probably that I'm a giant hypocrite of some sort. But I was extremely like hard on this game when it was coming out, and now I'm finding myself really enjoying even the most minute crap in it, like stuff that everyone else is like, that's garbage. I'm like, but you can go over there and do that thing, and I feel like it's an interesting. I might not be far enough in it to judge the game, but I'm enjoying the little things in it, which I think are kind of funny. I don't know what happened to me, but
well, I mean, you're an MMO player. You enjoyed that stuff in WoW, and you're enjoying it here. I found that I'm able to tolerate it. If I wasn't an MMO player, I'd probably hate this thing, honestly. And yeah, I'm kind of into it now, but I feel fatigued by the game because I did so much of the stuff in the hinterlands, and I did so much of the stuff in a couple of other areas, like the desert area, and I feel like, oh god, this combat system is getting a bit samey. It's helpful that I'm playing a two-handed warrior, so I get to do some pretty awesome shit. I've got like Whirlwind, I've got Earthquake, which I upgraded so it sets the ground on fire for 8 seconds. This big slam that creates rocks even if there are no rocks there. I fought on top of a cloth tent, hammered the ground, and rocks appeared from the tent. It was great. It's like, this is how strong I am. This is mighty. But simultaneously, like the way that Origins did it, some people hated the combat for that, but for me, it was a slower, more methodical combat system, especially on the higher difficulties, that encouraged frequent pausing and uses of the tactical view. It felt more like Neverwinter Nights or Baldur's Gate.
I really liked it from what I did with it, like compared to the Inquisition one.
Yeah, and another problem I've got with it is the tactical view sucks. It's really bad on PC. It controls horribly. I'm just playing on normal difficulty, so I don't have to use the tactical view, although I'm told I really have to when I fight dragons, because apparently you've got to move a lot there. That sounds horrible, because the tactical view in Dragon Age Origins was spot on. I used it all the time. It was great. You could set complex behaviors for your characters so that they wouldn't act like complete morons. You could set up combos and things like that. And you could just pause and use a proper mouse-driven interface to move people around. Here, it's clearly not designed for mouse and keyboard, and it suffers as a result. So,
it's like... Use E and Q to move. I'm like, what is going on?
Rotate the camera with the keyboard. Like, no.
Oh, and it has that same like user interface that all those games have, like Far Cry and just all.
Yeah, where it's clearly like well,
this
you were
Skyrim.
supposed to use the analog stick, but no, we've kind of mashed in the. You've got to hold down both fucking mouse buttons to move it around. It interacts with the terrain, which is just ridiculous. And
the fact that you left click to auto attack, like I kept trying to move my camera around and I kept auto attacking. I'm like, ugh, it's freaking me out.
Yeah,
WoW, that's all I do.
I'm okay with the movement and things like that because frankly, it's quite like WoW. So like I'm sort of used to how the camera works, but the tactical view is bollocks. It is, and the AI is not smart. I'm sorry, you can't give it enough behaviors to be smart. There's like 4 behaviors it can configure. It's like, use a potion when under this. Attack my target. That's it. That's like all they have. They gutted the system completely. It's infuriating because setting up combos, pretty much impossible unless you use tactical view and micromanage your people. Because they will just use spells whenever the fuck they feel like it. I've seen guys use their movement abilities to charge off cliffs. It's just the stupidest. Oh man,
it sounds great to me. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, but I mean, I might feel like I'm kind of slamming on it a lot, but the writing's mostly good. I think like Dorian is an amazing character. His writing is fantastic. Everything he says is gold. I replaced my mage in my part, because Ceres or whatever, boring motherfucker. It's okay, I've got Dorian now, who's going to
Solus?
snark. Yeah, Solus, fuck him, he's boring. It's like, I have the Fade! Like, shut up, I don't care about the Fade. It's like, this is the only thing you talk about. Well, when I was in the Fade, shut up! Dorian's brilliant. He's just snarky and silly and awesome. And Cassandra's great because she's a great foil to Dorian. So I like her in the party because she plays the straight woman to Dorian's silly. And then I put I have Varric in there just to be sarcastic. I'm thinking of swapping him out for Ceres or whatever, because she just doesn't make any sense. And I have a feeling that's gonna have some very interesting ideas and conversations pop out of it. So the ranking I think is cool, and I've done some of the companion quests, and they're really good. Really, I did Josephine's companion quest, spot on, really, really good.
I love Josephine and her ridiculous gold outfit.
Oh yeah,
so much,
so floofy and all.
Her floofy gold outfit. That must weigh a
Well, I like
ton.
the fact that she wanders around with a clipboard with a fucking candle stuck to it.
Yeah.
As if that's in any way practical. Yeah, so
it is a fantastic.
That's okay.
The one thing I would say about the writing in the game, and this is probably not going to go over well with the Tumblr crowd, but holy crap, it's like messaging, we'll say, is very on the nose. Like, there's no subtlety behind anything that has to do with like sexuality or politics, and like it's very much like, yes, this is my girlfriend, and we are. Do you have a problem with that? Because no one else does. That you shouldn't have a problem with that.
Really?
It's like, oh my god,
I haven't run into anything like that. What? Have you got an example?
I found like they're all. Oh my god, they're all sorts of little side quests in the game. I think the earliest one is when you find the oh shit. It's right. Okay. It's after the one, like, I think the very first one you find is when you find the scout who is having a relationship with a mage up on a hill. That's like the first one you find. But after that, you find like this whole thing where it's like, it's okay to do what you want to. It's in, whatever the name of that city. It's in Orlais. It's in one of the cities in Orlais.
Oh, Val Royeaux? Or
I don't know. It's not in Val Royeaux. But chat, I mean, the dead mage early on is pretty good, but it's after that. And from that point on, you find a book. You find a book in the game that's like, these are the social stats of like who does what and where, and how each race has their own relationship things. It's like, I gotcha. I don't need that though. Like, you don't need to go into explanation of like why it's okay. Just put it in your game. I'll be fine with it. I don't need you to explain to me why it's cool.
I haven't run into that yet. Like, I like the fact that I mean, Dorian's sexuality is a complete non-issue. Like, he's just a gay character.
Fine. That's fine. Yeah, I love that. I think that's great.
And that's how it should be fucking done. Because especially if you believe all this stuff is okay, which obviously you should, then why would you point it out? Why would you have to like, hey guys, hey, you know, it's like the Borderlands writing. Whenever they try and pull that shit, it's so bad. It's incredibly, as you said, on the nose, and they would just shove it in your fucking face. It's condescending. It's stupid. Like, just it is normal. Like, here's the thing. Like, when I wander around that world, I don't question the idea that there are women in armor and things like that. That's entirely normal. There's nothing out. And I'm glad that it doesn't point that shit out. It never says, you know, oh, well, did you get into opposition because you're a woman? It's like, isn't that unusual because you're a woman? Like, no, they don't do anything like that. And that's exactly how it should be.
It's just treating it like it's a normal thing instead of being like, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's going to give me a freaking hemorrhage trying to... all it is in a town, and there are two nobles talking. And if you just sit and listen to the conversation, it goes on for about 6 minutes. And it is literally just like the most on-the-nose, like what you would imagine people want to hear, but no one wants to hear. Like the whole, like, it's okay to be in love with who you want to be in love with. Yes, you know, like that kind of thing. And it's like, there is no problem with that. And those who judge, and it's like, fucking shit. Like, okay. Well,
I mean, frankly, if that's just like one side conversation that you probably will never hear, I don't frankly give a shit.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that's like a little minor quibble that I have, where it's just like, I get what you're doing, but it's unnecessary.
Like
everyone supports you anyway. We're all behind you. No one here is saying like, don't do that. And the people who are saying that aren't buying your game. So what the hell do you
that
care?
reminds me of, what was it? Oh, God. That huge kerfuffle a while ago where one of the seniors from EA, after EA got named like worst company in America 2 times in a row, basically said that it was because people didn't like the fact that they put lesbian, gay, bi, transsexual kind of and queer characters in their games. It's like,
I'm going to say
what?
no.
What? That sounds like an
I'm gonna go out on a limb and
invisible
say no.
boogeyman, really. I don't think that's actually in any way true. No, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that EA games in general do a good job of representation. That's fine. That's great. And I hope more companies do that when it's appropriate to the story. No, don't just shoehorn diversity in for diversity's sake. Do it because you believe in it and because you can write good characters that are diverse. Like, use that
I
diversity.
think that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Use
I
it.
think that's the
Don't
biggest
make it
problem,
token.
though. That's the biggest problem right now is rather than do it because it's for the story and it feels like it's part of the story, it's constantly shoehorned in as a way to like avert bad press. And it's like you can
like
see
build
when
it
it's
in
done
as
that way.
a story. Like
Yeah.
build it in so like you actually care. Like, oh wow, I'm playing this love story between these 2 gay characters, and it's really good, and I want them to be together instead of just like we are gay and we should be together. Do you think so?
I want a romance Dorian. I want a romance Dorian not because I am gay, because he's an awesome character, and I'm role playing a character. Maybe my character is gay. Who knows? Maybe he's bisexual. Maybe he just really likes Dorian. What's wrong with that? You know? I just don't. I'm not cool with the whole idea of quotas. It's like, well, we need a black character, we need an Asian character, we need this female character. Like, no, just write good characters, and that will come naturally. And because you don't have to have an equal like number of different characters, you just need to have good characters.
And it may say a lot about my snark level, but when I saw the now I'll just say this because I'm not sure what we can say, but when I saw the Warcraft movie trailer, there was an Asian high elf, and I said to myself, "That's cool." And then I thought, "Oh shit, is that because they figured they had to add like different races for the elves? Because the elves are just white people. Like the elves are all like in the game, the elves are just skinny white people." And I was like, "Do they feel like they had to add that in there?" And it's like, "Oh no," and that I think is a problem.
Sorry, I'm just reading chat and they say bisexual characters are really freaking hard to animate. Ubisoft opinions. Yes.
I don't.
Oh man, love that. Yeah, it's just a case of treating that particular subject matter with the respect that it deserves. Because again, the on the nose stuff I find just as immature as the immaturity that teenage boys have regards like, hey, gay. It's just as immature. You just happen to be doing it from a position of power, and that sucks because you're undermining your own message. By not delivering it in an adult way. Treat people like adults if you want the message to be heard. But I mean, I personally don't have the same problem with Inquisition that you have. Probably because I haven't heard those conversations. I don't read most of the text in that game.
It's not that I have a problem. It's just that it's really very like the stuff that I've seen is very like I said, it's on the nose. Yeah, it's ham-fisted, and it's sort of like we get it, but you don't need to keep reminding everyone that that's the world we're in. Like, we see the female soldiers. We see, like, this world from the get-go. You understand this is a world of equality where you can fight alongside
If you can pick up a sword or a staff, you fucking fight. It's as simple as that. Why the hell wouldn't you? It's a world that gets attacked by the Darkspawn on a regular fucking basis. Yeah. It's like, well, half of our potential army, they can't do it because social reasons. Fuck that, that's dumb. Right. Give them a sword and fight the fucking horde. Jesus.
You get it right away. In the first 15 minutes of the game, you understand what world you're in. It doesn't need to be like, did you also know about this world? Like,
yeah.
It's not a complaint, more of like we get it. We get it. Video games.
Here's what I'll say about sexuality in that game. Talk to Iron Bull as much as possible about Qunari sexuality. It's fucking hilarious. Definitely want to read that. Love it. But I mean, that is a point that someone brought up. Actually, I mean, it's not a world of equality at all. Just in terms of races, anyway.
I was referring to
of course, a sexual
male,
equality,
female. There,
yeah,
my
totally.
fault.
Gender
My
equality.
fault.
It's
But I mean, come on. Have you seen the elves? Have you seen the elves though? I think we all understand why they're slaves. I mean,
what the fuck? I play a fucking elf. Fuck you. Just because my guy has a stupid tree tattoo on his face and is half bald and obviously hideous doesn't.
I thought all the elves just looked like a combination of Marilyn Manson and that the brother of Daenerys from Game of Thrones. what's his name?
Oh, yeah. What's it?
Oh,
yeah. The guy who gets
the guy who died in the first season.
Yeah.
Idiots!
Dang, you might look like it.
Don't spoil the fucking series. Holy shit.
It's been out for years
It
now,
doesn't.
and it's a book.
I don't think the statute of I keep saying statute of limitations because I'm a moron, but I don't think the statute of limitations has run out on Game of Thrones spoilers as of yet. So let's not. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I'm still playing that game. I don't know if it's going to make my top 10 this year. I'm kind of crawling through it, and it feels padded in such a huge way. And I think that Origins did a much better job of having less side quests, but side quests that were more interesting in general. Yeah, it was a more linear experience, but every time you go to an area in Origins, there'll be quests. The quests are generally fairly interesting, and there's a lot of dialogue options for a lot of those quests. Here's the thing I've really noticed about Inquisition. Almost none of the side quests have any choices associated with them. You just do them. Whereas Origins had a lot of them. So, yeah. I preferred Origins, I think, and I still do. Inquisition's better than 2, definitely. Not going to dispute that, but it's got a lot of problems in terms of pacing, in my opinion. But weirdly enough, a lot of those pacing problems are player-controlled, because they give you so much damn freedom, and then they don't just tell you, like, fucking move on, get out of the hinterlands, for fuck's sake. It's almost like they don't give you enough prompts. It's like, hey, did you know there are way more interesting fucking areas and you've spent quite enough time here? Get the fuck out!
But I think that goes back to the very beginning of the conversation. It's like a weird creative choice on their part, because usually those moments where you enter a big open area is when you've had time to get everything down and you understand all the concepts of the game and you're treasure hunting and you're looking for things, and it's like, it's the post level 30, 40 experience, and they do that right at the beginning when you're like level 2, and it's really weird because at that point you're like, wait, there's treasure I can hunt for, like with maps behind waterfalls, and then there's like shit on the ground to find, and you're spending all your time collecting things, and it's a weird thing to experience. I happen to love it because that's where I love gaming, but I can imagine most of the world being like, what the hell is this?
Some people are going to get a bit sick of it.
After playing both those games, Dragon Age, Inquisition, if someone was like, you're going to be playing that for a few hours today, I'd be like, eh. And if they were like, you're going to be Origins for a few hours, I'd be like, yeah. And that's why I was just like, you know what? I know which is a better game.
Yeah.
Origins is still one of my favorite games of the last 5 years. I beat that. I put 100 hours in and beat it. And I enjoyed 90% of it, I think. Whereas Inquisition, it's a good 50-50. Where I'm like, I'm riding through the desert. There's shards. Oh, no. I don't even collect those anymore. If I see a fucking glowing skull on a cliff, I'm like, not today. I just ride right on past.
The non-Jesse Cox way.
Yep. Absolutely not.
Although, with that said, in recent episodes, I have just passed up loot because I'm like, I got quests to do. I can't keep stuff. And then I realized I was running out of elf fruit because I kept making potions. I was like, I gotta go get more elf fruit.
Well, the nice thing is you can, you eventually unlock quests, stuff that you can do at the war table, which will just collect shit for you. But the annoying thing is the amount of maintenance required in that. This is a thing that this game could benefit from a fucking companion app more than anything else. So those who don't know, the way that the game works is very early on you get access to a war table. At the war table, you go there and you can assign your 3 main people, Liliana, Cullen, and Josephine, to do tasks. And they take time. They take in-game time to finish. And once they're finished, you have to go back to the war table to complete them, and then you get the reward, and then you assign them a new one. But the war table is found at your home base. And there's no way to access the war table outside of the home base, which means you need to travel back to the home base to start a new quest. And some of these things don't take very long. Like, I can collect herbs using that in about 12 minutes, because you get bonuses which increase the speed of it. So every 12 minutes or so, it's asking me, yeah, you probably want to go back to the war table. And it says, go back to the war table. They're awaiting your orders and shit. Like, come on! I'm in the middle of questing and stuff. Can I not just have a companion app? Can I not send a fucking messenger? I am a damn
Inquisitor. That sounds familiar, Crendor.
Hearthstone, TB.
That sounds very familiar.
You just use your Hearthstone. It takes you back.
Just use your Hearthstone and go back to the garrison, TB. What are you talking about?
God, it's the area that you get eventually is so big. Like it takes a while to even run to the war room. It's like jogging along. It's like, hi Inquisitor, hi Inquisitor. Like, go away. I'm going to the war room. Then I immediately like portal out of there, go back to the place, and I want a companion app for that. I want to be able to do that stuff on my phone or on a little app where I don't have to have Inquisition running, and just like, yeah, I send a message because What's a message? I send a message because I'm an Inquisitor and I shouldn't be having to run back to the fucking Skyhold every 12 minutes to tell my people what to do. Like, can I just not give them a little order? It's like, yeah, could you do stuff related to gathering herbs for the next 24 hours? That would be cool. You know, could you do that?
Something that WoW has done better than all the other games and makes it more fun.
Yeah.
I would say SWTOR, I think, did it best, but whatever.
Did you have to go back to your starship to send your guys on quests in Tor? Because that's obviously where the system came from. It came from Tor.
Yeah, as far as I remember, you had to be in your
you had to be in the ship
in orbit to do stuff like
I mean,
that.
that's equally annoying. It's like, it's really silly. But I think you can make the excuse in an MMO because you want to like create more scarcity in the resources. In a single player game, there was no fucking excuse. Plus, you can just cheat. Like, you can, if you want to do a long mission, you can you do that, alt tab out, set your system clock forward.
I'm totally wrong. You're right. Thank you, chat. They shut me up. You could do it from anywhere.
Well, there you
go. You could access a menu,
there you go.
and it would. You're right. I would do it from
Star
space
Trek
stations.
Online
has
a really intense system like that called Duty Officers, which is a lot more complicated. And you could do that from on your ship as well. This, you have to go back to the war table every time. That is infuriating, especially when you're just doing resource gathering stuff. Here's another thing. I'm the fucking Inquisitor. Why is there not a button which says to my party members, who are my subordinates, hey, in this area, there's herbs and mining and shit. Go get it. Like, why can't I do that? Hell, even in Old Republic, I could send my follower to go pick up that shit over there. Why do I have to be the person that does that? Why do I have to be the guy that grabs every single piece of loot off the fucking ground? Why can't I have my companions go and mine that shit that's halfway up that mountain? Instead of me having to go do it.
Yeah. The Old Republic was actually really fun. I enjoyed that game.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. I think it's because it felt more like a single-player RPG than a multiplayer RPG, because it had lots of story in it.
Well, the multiplayer stuff is what sucked in that game. Like,
yeah.
Just playing as a single-player game, it ended up just being a worse... My God, my words. I'm missing letters. An What the fuck is wrong with me? Sorry, I've been taking pills. I've been taking too many pills, evidently. That the Knights of the Old Republic was... I mean, just a better version of the Old Republic. The Old Republic is just a kind of worse, more padded version of it. But it's still okay. It's still pretty good. But, I don't know. I think I'm harping too much on Inquisition, because I do like it. And it's certainly better than the second one. But it's still too padded. Like, I'd be happy with areas that were half the size, with half the quests, and twice the work put into them. You know?
Yeah.
I'm really curious, like, if there's, I would want to know what the reviews would be if that was the case. If it was a small, because it seems like everyone tries to go bigger and bigger every iteration. So, like, we go bigger. And then 2, the biggest complaint was that it was too small. Like, it was a small, confined space, and people complained about that.
Well, that's because the thing is, it was the same. Like, it was the same areas. They recycled the same areas for the dungeons. That's what people really hated.
Yeah, I'm curious. What would the alt reality version of this conversation be if they had made it smaller but more detailed story and different?
Probably,
I'd rather have
rate it the same as they did Origins, i.e., like 9s and 10s, because it's great.
I'd rather have a good linear story than a mediocre open world story.
Yeah, I don't think for the most part Inquisition benefits from its open world areas. There are occasional times, like I said, in the desert, when I came across that big fucking temple and there was chanting and shit around it. That was cool. I really enjoyed that moment. Or when I went to attack the castle and we infiltrated it by going through the fucking sewers, and then we took out everyone in it. We fought the boss at the top, and then we took it for the Inquisition. There's Inquisition flags everywhere, and then they gave me some quests inside it, and they put all my crafting tables there so I could access them in the field. That was cool. But those moments are like too few and far between. A lot of it is really filler.
Like, is it an open world where it's just like old lady Johnson and she's like, I lost my glasses. Can you go find them?
Yeah, there's lots
Like,
of that.
oh, okay.
Especially in the hinterlands.
There's plenty of quests like that. I'll burst into a house because I think I'm gonna find loot in there, and I burst and there's just a woman in the house, and she's like, "They came and took my husband's wedding ring. Go find it." I'm like, I don't. Are you okay with me coming in here? All right, sure. Like, I'll go find it.
Yeah.
Thank God you're here, random stranger. Just burst into my house.
Yeah, I just broke in the house, and she's like, you can help me. Like, oh, all right.
Hi. And then you just loot all their stuff right in front of them. We're starving. Here's what's in this box. Like, just take it.
That's right.
The one that got me the most was the fucking herbalist. Like, oh god, people are dying. We're short of elf fruit. I walk outside the house and there's literal elf fruit growing right there. Like, go outside! It's too dangerous. You're in a village and everything's fine. It's in your garden.
Going on.
Go and pick it there. You idiots. Oh my god. I don't, it's like I said, I don't hate it. I sound like I do, but I don't hate it. If anyone buys it, let me follow this recommendation. Do every quest at the bare minimum level that you have to get it. Bare minimum. Collect the power that you need to unlock the major quest areas, then do the major quests. Get to Skyhold, and then do the interesting shit. Do not spend a lot of time in the hinterlands. Do not spend, like me, 30 fucking hours in the hinterlands and the small little shitty areas. Do the main quest, for the love of God. Don't waste your time. Don't. You don't need 300 elf fruit. You don't need to collect all the shards. Don't do it. It's terrible. Don't waste your time, please.
YouTube.com/Jesse Cox.
Yes, watch him get 300 elf fruit.
You can enjoy the amazing power of physics ram, a ram that don't give no damn that randomly shows up and then flies off. He's in the rafters of buildings sometimes. I've come across this ram that does not care about the laws of gravity.
Oh, man.
Is everywhere. He's upside down. He's great. Physics ram.
Yeah,
that's a ram I can get
Enjoy
behind.
summoning your horse
Don't
in areas where the terrain's kind of not flat because crazy shit happens. It wanders up to you and then it's like upside down. Like, what are you doing? I got a horse, an exotic like horse. It's some like deer or something. Apparently it charges a lot faster. And like it has like permanent charge speed, so you keep going. But it makes the most annoying noise every time you hit the shift key. It like goes like, no! It's like, I would rather walk now. Stop it. Stop, please.
Can he spam it too?
I feel.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I feel bad for laughing over that because that's a good clip to steal from the internet. TV going. Nice. There you go, internet. Enjoy that.
Stop. Oh god. All right. What are the games? I played a bit of The Crew this morning. Has anyone played any of that?
I got a copy of that yesterday. Crendor and I played at E3. I think we played some of it.
Okay.
But yeah, remember the racing game where we played?
The Crew.
We played with the one guy at E3.
Yeah.
This is a great start. At E3, Crendor and I went to go play The Crew, and they had 3v3 teams, and we were playing against 3 guys that seemed like pretty cool racer dudes, and the guy on our team was like hardcore racer. He was into it, and Crendor and I were on his team, and he finished
we brought
first.
him down.
He finished first, but because we were so bad and finished the 2 last places, we lost and he didn't get a t-shirt. And he felt so... He's like, I guess I'll go wait in line again. And we were like...
Oh, that's brutal.
It was bad.
I finished second to last. Jesse finished last.
I finished... That's because I spun out. And then was so far behind I started driving in reverse.
The guy like showing us how to play the game, he's like, just keep hitting the button, like puts you back on track.
Oh, the B button?
Like
Yeah.
going back off track. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
man.
a cool concept, but it's a racing game. Like, it's a racing game at its core.
It's
And
an
then
open
Jesse
world
got a
Ubisoft
t-shirt
racing
anyway.
game. They put towers in it. They can't stop. Like, every game must have it. I'm surprised that Child of Light didn't have towers in it in some way. Like, every game they've released this year has had fucking towers in it. Stop. What's wrong with you?
Tower defense.
I think... I don't know if I would have liked it more if it was more real-timey, because they keep touting the fact that you can get in.
Drive
and
across the US.
Yeah, this is something that I did where I was like, screw it, I don't want to deal with racing or whatever. I just want to drive from the East Coast to the West Coast. Go. And you can do that. And I think it's really cool, but the maps are very distorted. Like some cities are huge.
Yeah,
and then the
I drove
countryside's
right
like
from
5
Ohio
minutes.
to Boston. I'm like, I don't know much about U.S. geography, but that doesn't quite seem right. Although I did love driving through potato fields and ruining farmers' crops in Ohio. That gave me a lot of schadenfreude, considering the last time we went there, horrible things happened. Like, we wrecked our car and, like, almost died. So I'm like, fuck you, potatoes! I just drive my my purple GT500 with a Union Jack on the side of it right through the fucking potato fields. Like, your livelihood is fucked. Great.
How do you wreck your car and almost die in Ohio?
I don't ask. It's a long story. But
He was on the run from the law.
we totaled the cheap liberty. It was pretty bad. But oh god, I want to drive to. They don't have a major city hub in North Carolina, but I do want to drive to North Carolina and see what happens then in that game. I mean, it seems like some of that stuff's kind of accurate.
I went and saw Jesse Cox' childhood house. There's a video of it on the internet.
He did film a video of where I used to live as a kid. It's very creepy. He's walking in the yard. And he's like, this is where Jesse Cox used to live. And it's like, there might be people living there. And he's like, I think there are people inside the house.
Go look for it on YouTube.
It's a little
Give me
weird.
ad money.
It's a little strange.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it runs well, which is nice. Like, it's the only Ubisoft game this year to run well. So kudos to Ivory Tower for doing that. They claimed that PC was the lead platform. Someone from the company, like, PM'd me, went on Twitter and said to me today, it's like, yeah, PC was the lead platform. I said, really? Because my 144 hertz monitor is feeling a little underwhelmed with your 60 frames per second lock there. But otherwise, it runs well. I can run it at the frame cap of 60 without any drops. It has proper mouse control. It's got all, like, the shit that you want. And it looks okay. Like, although I do like, in first-person mode, driving up to the parked cars and seeing just how low detail they are in comparison to your car. It's like, that shit doesn't even have wheels. That's just a square. Yeah, come on. You expected me to be moving too fast to notice, but I noticed. Oh, I noticed.
I would say the copy that I have is a PS4 copy. I would say that it's probably one of the better looking PS4 games. Like, it looks very, very nice.
I mean, the racing games always look pretty good, right?
And if you're into racing, I think it offers a lot. It offers a lot of community for racing games. Like you can make your little crews and do things. I think it offers some new stuff that I would enjoy. The problem is it's still a racing game. I'm just not a big racing game.
We played a lot of racing games at E3 too. Like, a lot of people were making racing games.
And here's something that we did learn at E3. I don't know how many of these we played, but over the next year, expect tons and tons of racing games, and all of them having the same mechanic of, like, you can race with your friends online in a crew.
Yeah,
and customize your car with things like an MMORPG.
Oh, speaking of MMORPG, this motherfucker has microtransactions everywhere. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, they constantly are saying, yeah, you want to buy some crew credits? You want to buy our fun bucks? So I went and bought $50 of fun bucks. I'm like, I need this for research to figure out what exactly is going on with this thing.
Research.
Well, literally, yeah, because I thought, well, if I'm going to talk about this on the video, I've got to know kind of how far does $50 of fun bucks get you? Yeah. And I bought the Shelby GT500, which is like the most expensive car at like level 1 you can get. And then I bought a paint job for it, which is like an anodized purple. And I bought a Union Jack. Nice. Here's the thing, right? The currency in that game, both in-game and the real money thing, is ridiculous. You can completely customize like the hood of your car and make it look completely different. Like, you have a huge engine thing coming out of it for like $400. Which is in-game currency, nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's chump change. But you want a sticker on your car with a Union Jack? That's $40,000, son. It costs more than the basic cars. You can buy a 2010 Camaro for half the price of that fucking sticker. and everything scales, of course, with the real money bucks. So the cost of the GT500 in fun bucks is like $8, and then the sticker, it's like a $2.50 sticker. And some of the rims, like, these are exotic rims. They cost like $3 or $4 each. Like, fuck me.
Do the stickers, are they transferable to other cars, or is it just per car?
I couldn't tell you. I think once you buy them, you can probably just use them on all cars. But the thing is,
I imagine that's why the price is ridiculous.
That might be it, because you can't use the same hood on every car and things like that. So maybe that's it, but it's a bit excessive. I mean, come on, there are loads of driving games. Like, remember Need for Speed, the original Underground, or Underground 2, where they let you make these amazing decals for free? In the game with like layer upon layer, you can make everything. Like Forza lets you like design these really detailed decals. Well, here it's like, fuck you. You want a Union Jack? 40,000 in-game dollars, son, or about $3 real money dollars. Like, oh my god,
that was back in the day before we had fun microtransactions and people made full games.
Ubisoft this year has been going really silly with microtransactions. Unity has loads of them. And the Crew has loads of them. Far Cry doesn't, thankfully. They just made a season pass, you know? So there's that. And then, of course, there was the season pass for Watch Dogs. Do you even remember what content they brought out for Watch Dogs as DLC? I don't.
Like after the story? Like, I don't.
Everyone fucking forgot about that game pretty fast.
That was going to be the next big thing. I remember for years, 2-3 years of E3s that were like,
Watch Dogs is
going to be the thing. It's going to change gaming. Yeah, all right, congrats.
No.
Good job.
No, it was another Ubisoft open world game. They have released 4 games that use exactly the same mechanics this year. 4! Even the Crew has towers! It could only have been better if they actually forced you to drive up the tower. Like, that would have been
awesome. That would have been the coolest.
I'm going to give a terrible idea to Ubisoft. For your next driving game, don't make them towers. Make them satellite dishes on top of multi-story car parks that you have to drive up the ramps in order to access.
When you get there, you unlock missions and quests in the area.
Do it!
You're welcome.
That will be the end of Ubisoft as we know it. Oh. But, I mean, so far, the Crew's okay. Outside the microtransactions, I really have to figure out just how bad the microtransactions are, because here's what I say with everything. It's the same thing we say with Dead Space 3 when the EA put microtransactions in that. It's like, look, I can't trust you as a developer not to make the progression curve longer just to encourage people to pay. That's what I can't trust you to do that. And in a game like the Crew, where you're racing against other people, yeah, of course you're going to be tempted to buy a better car. I will say this, from what I can tell, you can't buy upgrades with real money. You get those, they're fucking loot drops, because apparently this is year of the loot drop as well. So if you get either a silver or a gold medal in any of the activities, you get an upgrade for your car, which has a random extra bonus to it. So it's like, this pair of tires gives you additional acceleration, and this pair of tires gives you additional handling, and it's all random. And as far as I can tell, you can't buy those parts with real money. But everything else, oh yeah, that's for sale.
The only driving game I like is Mario Kart.
It's a good game.
And they have DLC Link. That's all I need.
Yep. Even Nintendo's doing DLC now.
Nintendo hit the nail on the head when they made those amiibo things. Everyone I know, I swear, look, I'm not saying the completionist has every single amiibo that exists, but he does. And
I bought 6 of them for... It's like, oh, God.
And here's the thing. Everyone's like, yeah, but don't you know that if you have Hyrule Warriors, if you put the amiibos in it, the weapons are in the game. And I was like, so basically... The amiibos, if you buy those, they're DLC for all the other games.
They're DLC in a plastic package, yes. It's fucking clever.
Sons of bitches.
I'll give them credit. Nintendo does a great job of doing the most evil things while appearing completely innocent in the process.
Oh, yeah. Like, when you think about it, it's like, wait a minute. All they're doing is just making the amiibos everywhere. Like, and they're using them to hawk other shit, like, but if you own this other game, you get this game, this thing with it. And it's like,
it's sneaky. It's really
I see what
sneaky.
You're doing.
Oh, Nintendo.
And we'll buy them anyway. It's like buying them for Kiddo for Christmas. It makes sense. He's playing a lot. He's unlocking all the shit for me in Smash Brothers. It's great. I don't have to do any of that shit. I want my Duck Hunt dog, and he's gonna get it for me. It's brilliant.
You know what we found out? This is messed up. We found this out. I think it was either a few days after Gerard. By the way. The completionist has completed all 144 achievements or whatever there is. First person in the United States to do it. Did it like a week of the game releasing.
Of course.
Insane person. I think he figured it out after. I'm not sure I think it was like 2 days later, we were sitting there. Apparently online now, there are guides where you can you can program your amiibos to play the game for you.
Well, they entered an amiibo into a Smash tournament, and it beat people. They have now had to ban them because apparently they're really good when they're properly like trained up.
Apparently, there's like a whole list of like things you can do, and he was just like, "Are you kidding me?" So apparently, like, there's a thing online.
He did all this
like,
shit that he didn't have to do. Oh,
Yeah.
that's delicious.
And so what it does is, basically you just put them all like, you can have them all fight each other and stuff, and so they all level up. Like, that's insane. That's insane. They get like items for you and stuff. That's
it's
super
cool.
cheats.
It's
super cheats.
But you are literally paying for a plastic cheat. This is Game Genie advanced right here. This is,
I mean, I'll buy Kirby amiibo. I don't care.
I bought Kirby amiibo just because I wanted one. I'll go be honest.
I desperately want the Samus amiibo that has 2 handguns. That apparently there was a manufacturing mistake, and the Samuses that came out have 2 guns on hands instead of just 1. Oh. And I want that just to say I have that one.
That'll
want
be
that so
super
bad.
Rare now.
Oh, probably. I want it. I don't know where it's at.
The prices are. I went on Amazon to buy some for the kids' Christmas presents, and some of them are like 4 times the price of the others because apparently they're out of stock. So there's a scarcity, and people are just jacking the prices up to ludicrous degrees because they know people want the complete set. I think it was either Villager or Wii Fit Trainer. I think is about 4 times the price. Oh wow! People in chat are saying that those mistakes $2,500. What?
Hey, if there are any rich Saudi princes out there who want to buy me one, I will take it. No complaints. Also the GameCube controller jack things, because people like to play with those controllers. Those things are going on eBay for too much money. Like there are lists where they have websites now that are where you can buy these things online, and the minute they go online for sale, it'll pop up on the list and like give you an email like, "Hey, you can go there."
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's kind of pointless because Hori, the third-party guys that do really good peripherals for most Nintendo stuff, they just released controllers that are basically just GameCube controllers. They're pretty much identical and completely functional, and they're about $20. And you could just buy that instead of trying to chase the GameCube.
You know those guys are like, but they have to be official tournament compatible. Like,
well, I mean, to be honest, I suppose if you do have like 4+ GameCube controllers that you used to use for other Smash, I suppose it makes more sense. But yeah, I mean, I'm not chasing that stuff. I don't really care. I'm a heathen. I play Smash with a Wiimote. I don't give a fuck. I'm not competitive. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
don't care either.
Oh well, that's the problem. Is I think everyone on Earth has like friends who play and it's fun. Everyone I know is like super next level competitive in Smash for some reason. So every time people are like, "Do you want to play Smash?" I'm like, "No, I'd rather not." Oh yeah, because I just get my ass repeatedly handed to me, and it's not fun.
Yeah, like you're in our
you guys
chat
play.
thing. You're in our chat thing, and Sam's like, "Anybody want to play?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll play." And he's just like, "I want no items on. I want this and the set.
No
thing.
items, Fox only. Final destination."
I was like, "But items are fun. I like items."
Everyone I know is like, oh, they go to Evo and stuff. They're like, I'm thinking of competing in Smash tournaments. And he's like, are you kidding me?
Jesus.
Everyone I know is like, and you know what? I'm gonna blame JonTron. It all started with JonTron and him being like, does anyone want to play Smash? And everyone was like, yeah, that's pretty fun. This was about 3 years ago. Now every single one of those sons of bitches plays it non-stop. And when this game came out, they're all on they were on their Game Boys, and they're sitting there, right? They're 3DSs, and we'd be at parties, and they break them out.
Smash on 3DS is a pain in the ass to play. It's not. It's just I don't find it fun at all. Yeah, of course, it's better on Wii, but I play with friends and family with items on in like 3 or 4 player, and it's good fun. It's a good laugh. Competitively, if I want to actually try and be competitive at a 2D fighting game, I'll play Street Fighter. Or I'll try and play Marvel or Mortal Kombat. I understand that a lot of people like playing Smash competitively, but it's not for me. I like playing Smash with items on, where it's like, oh, there's a fucking Snorlax that just came out of nowhere, and we're playing on some weird level where we all have to like run to the side all the time, and all this kind of crazy shit. So I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's fun to me. But the competitive 1v1, I like watching it. I watched Evo and Pikachu. The Pikachu hype was real. That was great.
That was amazing.
But
that was amazing.
That's what I want to watch, not play. I don't want to. I don't want to play that mode. I want to play the silly mode that where things could turn around in an instant because someone got some super OP bloody item or Pokemon or shit that came out. You know, that I like that.
Yeah.
But it's cool that the game caters to both of those things. You know?
I'm all excited. I'm like, I'm gonna play Robbie Robot. That should be fun, or whatever the hell that robot's name is. Like, I'm so excited
Robbie
to play like the
there.
Krabby characters. And I'm like, yeah, I want to play that guy. He looks awful. And it's just like, maybe like the one dude who's like the block man or whatever. The dark cell shaded guy. Like all the
Robbie
little crappy
Robot.
ones. I love playing them because they're fun to play. But they're like, that's like tier 5, bro. That's not even good.
He's not even worth
So
playing.
why are you
you're
playing
playing the
that
wrong.
character?
Why are you talking? I don't. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let's go to a break. This is definitely an argument not worth getting into because people are super passionate about Smash. I accept. Don't worry. I accept that Smash is an esport and that it's really cool to watch competitively. I just want no part of it. You're watching the Co-optional Podcast. We'll be back after the break. Don't go anywhere. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast. Sorry for the slightly longer break. I needed powerful, non-drowsy Dayquil, which tastes terrible and stains your lips orange. It's oh, God.
It's true. We saw him drink
Go
it, and he was very, very opposed.
He was not
to the taste.
pleased. He was not pleased.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Let's talk about something that is kind of good, though. We could talk about Game of Thrones, which I don't believe either of you have played yet.
Not a clue.
No.
I've seen it. I've read it.
Yep.
I haven't played it.
Yeah. Well, there's not much I can say without any spoilers, but all I'll say for it is first episode's about 2.5 hours. Standard length for a Telltale. A lot
Of
of
those 2.5 hours, how much is boobs? How much is wieners? And how much is violence?
0%, 0%, 85%, probably.
Nice.
Whoa.
I like that.
Yep.
He didn't say what order. One of those could be 85%. He didn't say which one.
Yep. Lots of talking. We can't do anything about... I don't believe this. So apparently in Expert 2.0, they still haven't fixed the mic bug that me and you have, Crendor. They still haven't fixed it. This is the brand new Expert 2.0, and they still haven't got that shit. My God. I would have to contact them and say, I am sick to death of this. Fix it! Like, I like your program. It's good, and don't you dare start with this OBS shit. Holy fuck. Oh, God. If you ever mention what streaming program you use on Twitter, you will be swarmed by the OBS equivalent of Jehovah's Witnesses. I like to call them Jehovah's Witnesses. They will... It's like, do you have a moment to hear the word of our Lord and Savior, OBS? No, go away. I worship Satan, or XSplit, as it's more colloquially known. Come on. Stop. Like, this has got nice features. Anyway, besides the point. So, it's standard Telltale. It is a lot of dialogue, very dialogue focused, and I think that kind of works for Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones is a lot of talking about the horrible things that might happen, and a lot of, there isn't really a right answer to this, is there? And that's like what most of the Game of Thrones game actually is. Like, you're constantly second-guessing everything that you said, because you're like, I don't know if this is gonna do. This is not really a spoiler, there's a sequence where you have to talk to Cersei, and it is really tense, because Cersei is being Cersei. Like, she is her usual, I'm smiling and I'm going to kill you in your sleep kind of way. And Tyrion's sitting next to her, which is great, because he provides a wonderful foil to everything Cersei's saying. And you kind of got to navigate the treacherous waters of having a conversation with Cersei and not fuck it up. But simultaneously, you're playing it off your loyalty to Marjorie Tyrell. And it's a very interesting sequence.
Is that who you are? Are you from the Tyrells?
No.
No.
You play as members of House Forrester, which is apparently like mentioned once in Game of Thrones. Like, they're a minor house that are they're bannermen for the Starks. So you play new characters, but you get to interact with characters you already know. And I just like the fact they do it in a way that doesn't feel forced. Because I think it's very easy when you make licensed material. It's like, oh look, here's this famous character. They don't do that. It's just you are interacting with them in a way that makes sense, in a way that's logical. And it helps develop your character in comparison to theirs, because they already have a fully fleshed out character. You know how these guys are going to act. So you develop your character and you make responses based on what you know of those people. Which is why if you haven't either read or watched up to, I'd say, at least season 3 of Game of Thrones, there is no reason for you to even bother. Like, don't. Just don't. It's tied in very neatly to events of season 3 onwards. And if you don't know the story, you're going to get nothing out of this. Nothing. It is not a good primer. It's not designed to be a good primer.
So it does. So it's. Is it a story about the North then? from like the season 4 north on? Is that what it's about?
It's a story about lots of things because you play multiple characters. So it does the same thing Game of Thrones does. It jumps around between locations. So you've got for some reason Jim Sterling felt the cameos were fell force. I disagree with him on that one. I really do. Because there aren't cameos. Like, I disagree with him calling them cameos. A cameo is where it's like, hey guys, I'm famous, and then walks off the scene. You know, that's a cameo. There are, I think, 4 characters that you interact with that you would know from the series. There's Marjorie Terrell. There's what's his face? The really unpleasant bastard. The Bolton's bastard. No.
Ramsay Stark.
Yep, Ramsay Snow. Ramsay Snow, Marjorie Terrell, and Tyrion Lannister. Those are like the 4 characters that you would know that you interact with directly in episode 1. And none of them feel like cameos at all. At all. That's because you engage with each one of them in a meaningful way. That even Tyrion, who probably has the least screen time of the 4, you still engage with them in a meaningful way. That's what I like. So I disagree that they're cameos. I think they're well tied into the story.
So how many characters do you play as?
3, at least in episode 1. So you've got 3 different perspectives.
I'm curious. Here's I think how I would end up playing this game, and I already have it planned out in advance. I'm sure it will change, but I feel like one character you got to go full on Stark and make him like very honest and truthful, like the guy who you know is gonna die because he's too nice and too honest. Then you have to go sneaky awful bastard with one of the character. Then you have to go Varys with another character and play everyone. Be the guy who's like constantly like, yeah, no, sure, I'm down with that, and always be on everyone's side all the time, so he always wins.
Oh, I tried to be
guy.
evasive with Cersei, and it was awesome because she makes this really snarky comment like, oh, it must be wonderful to be able to flit through life without having an opinion on anything. I'm like, oh! It's just like, damn, I thought I was being diplomatic. And it's great because it makes you feel like you are completely inexperienced against someone who's a master of this kind of argument. And that's good writing to me. And the delivery, Cersei's delivery in particular, is spot on. Tyrion's is too. It's not phoned in like Destiny. It's not as good as the show, but it's good enough. Like, you're not worried about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am impressed by it so far, and I will say that if you're worried that they don't have the stones to make some really nasty things happen, they do. Trust me. And I won't say anything more than that, because it would be a horrible spoiler.
Here's what I want. I want this game to be just like the series, where I assume it's going to be 4 episodes, yeah? Probably 4 episodes?
6,
all right.
Yeah.
Episodes 1 through 4 are all this meaningless drivel and arguing and violence and stuff. Episode 5 and 6, the White Walkers come and destroy you. End of game. That's what I want so badly. It's like, yeah, you forgot about the fact that they're giant, evil North zombies going to come eat you. They're here now and they just killed you. End of game. That would be great, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think really what I want to see from them is whether or not Telltale are able to make your choices matter, because that's what a lot of people have said about Telltale. It's like they give you the illusion that you have a lot of choice, and really actually almost none of it matters. In Game of Thrones, it's got to matter. It really does. And if they are not able to pull that off, then it's going to be disappointing by the end of it. So I hope that they're able to.
I definitely think that applies for oh my god, my brain just died. With Big B, you know, the game with Big B. Woof. Help me out here.
Among Us.
Yeah, thank you. See, I think that definitely applies there. I think it was definitely Wolf Among Us made you feel like you had choice. But I would say Walking Dead gave you a lot. I would say that one's probably the pinnacle of like their ability to make you feel like you made a lot of choices, because at least it felt like they were consequential there, or maybe it was more emotional. Like I feel like that was what they did. I haven't played Tales from Borderlands, so I don't know if they do in that. But I would agree with TB on that. Wolf Among Us was like, every choice I made, I was like, oh shit, did I make that happen? No, that's just part of the story. You're going to get that anyway. Like, oh, all right. Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with those types of games, is they have to put in so much more work for each storyline they branch out into.
Yeah,
so they end up being like...
You can see when they do it, sometimes it works really well. But I think like... I don't know. Maybe a Wolf Among Us, they ran out of ideas, or like something. You could definitely tell after episode 2, it went downhill. And I don't know. That was, I don't. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Telltale always starts off really well, I think, in their series, and then sometimes they just kind of peter out. And I think it's just, maybe it's limitations of their format that they can give they give loads of illusion of choice, and kind of like Mass Effect, they can't tie it up properly at the end. So hopefully they eventually get over that, because they've settled into a formula now. They've very much moved away from what they used to do with things like Sam and Max and Back to the Future, where it was like, hey, there's some puzzles here. It's like, no, it's QTEs and dialogue choices now. And that's pretty much like the last... Wolf Among Us had a little bit of kind of point-and-click investigation, but Tales from the Borderlands and Game of Thrones, there are no puzzles of any sort. None. They just don't exist. So
it's all choice-based? It's like
all
movie?
dialogue and QTEs. That seems to be the thing that they're comfortable with now. And I'm okay with that if their subject matter is interesting and I just ignore the games where I don't care. Like, I don't really care about the Walking Dead subject matter, so I don't really play it, but I like Game of Thrones, and I thought The Wolf Among Us was compelling enough of a world to keep playing. But we'll see. It's gonna matter what happens by episode 5 as to whether or not the whole game ends up being interesting.
But you like it so far.
White Walkers.
So far, yeah. I was glued to my seat for all 2.5 hours. I felt really tense with that, because all of the dialogue choices, you've got to make them they rush you, and it's almost like a lot of the dialogue choices are complete no-win scenarios. Like, there isn't a right thing to say. So you just kind of say, cool. You go with your gut, and then you end up like causing a horrible scene. Like, damn it.
Can't you not say things? Like, when I played Wolf Among Us, there was moments where I just didn't select an answer as Big
yes,
and it was the right choice a lot of the time.
Yeah, but a lot of people will take that as an insult. Sometimes, yes, it's the right call not to say anything, but a lot of the time they're like, speak up, what the fuck, So it's hard to know.
You gotta know who you're talking with. You gotta be good with banter.
Well, if you banter too much in this game, then someone is going to turn around and call you a cockless bastard or whatever, so you got to watch out for that. I would not banter with Cersei, let me put it that way.
You say I have no cock, Cersei. Drop trowel. That's what would happen in Game of Thrones.
I wouldn't banter with Ramsay Bolton if we're talking about
that.
that.
Yes, I did banter with Ramsay Bolton. That did not seem like a very good idea. He did not respond particularly well to that, so... Yeah, it's good. It's a good start. We'll see what the rest of it turns out to be,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there's that. Oh, what else?
What else is there? Yeah.
What else has been played? I played Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon.
Is that the mobile one, or is that a different one?
It's on PC. It's a war game. It's basically a hex-based war game. I'm playing a play-by-email game right now with Tom from Unit Lost, which is kind of neat. I like the way they do the multiplayer in that, because we can kind of play a turn as we wish, and then just whenever we want. Although it's got to be frustrating for people that are really into the game. It's like, take your turn, motherfucker. Yeah. That's probably what Tom's thinking about right now, because I haven't taken my turn. But it's nice for 40k fans, because they have, like, almost every unit you can imagine, from Imperial Guard and from Orcs and some of the Space Marine stuff. Like, you want 28 variants of the same tank? They've got that. You want every Land Raider? You can have that. But it's very much related to 40k. If you don't like 40k, there was literally no reason to play it. So it's okay. I had some fun with it. It's good for 40k fans, and let's be honest, 40k fans have had a lot of really shitty games lately, so it's nice to get one that's competent.
That kind of reminds me of there's some website where you could play Risk, and it was turn-based, and then you just like get an email like, it's your turn now, and be like, oh, okay.
I dig play by email. I believe they're planning to bring this out on mobile devices, and I think it's going to work really well there. Because, like, you're carrying around... I mean, I guess you're not carrying around your iPad everywhere, but for a portable device, it's like, oh, it's my turn now, and you just, like, take your turn while you're on your lunch break or whatever. That's cool. I liked the way Frozen Synapse did that. And there's a couple of other games that do play by email that are on mobile. I think, what was it? Hero Academy? That was really good for that. And there's a couple of other pretty awesome games on mobile devices that do play by email tactics. Well worth having a look at those. So yeah, that's okay. I also played Persona Q. That's out. Shadow of the Labyrinth for 3DS. Well, I mean, you know the Persona games, right?
Yeah. So was it more...
It's more like...
Persona?
Well, do you remember a game called The Trayan Odyssey?
No.
No. Okay.
Not at all.
Okay,
No.
so Atrean Odyssey is a series that's been, I believe, on the DS and the 3DS. And it's the developers of this, it's developed by Atlas, and I think there's a lot of Atrean Odyssey stuff in there. They're taking gameplay elements from that. It's in first person this time, so it's kind of first person dungeon crawling, but it's got the cast of Persona 3 and Persona 4, and you can pick which one you want to start with. And since I beat Persona 4 and I didn't play as much Persona 3, I'm like, yeah, I want the cast of Persona 4. So I picked the cast of Persona 4, and here's the people that I know doing the Persona 4 stuff. And I'm playing Yu Nakamura or whatever his name is, the same way I was previously. And it has a combat system that takes elements from Atrean Odyssey and elements from Persona, and it's a brand new story, and it's got the original voice actors in it, which, for good or ill, some of them are still terrible. And so far, it's pretty fun. What I really like is the soundtrack. They mashed up the soundtrack from Persona 3 and Persona 4 together. So they've got this new stuff, which is kind of half of the stuff from one game and half of the stuff from the other, and it sounds great. So I'm liking it so far. I'm digging it quite a bit.
I don't know anything, in depth about Persona except for the fact that I love Teddy. I don't even know anything else other
Teddy's
than that.
great.
I just love Teddy.
Teddy is a combat character in this game, so you can fight with Teddy. He's got his own moveset and shit. So, and you get him from the very start, whereas, if I recall correctly, in Persona 4, Teddy was a combat character there too, but it took a while to get him. But here, you can fight with Teddy in your party from the very beginning, so that's cool. So far, it's pretty good. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do any of the dating game stuff that they did, because Persona was like half dungeon crawler, half kind of social game, where it's like, hey, do you want to go out with your friends and do this thing? You have a school test coming up. As far as I can tell, there don't appear to be any of those things in there.
Oh man, they win.
Kind of sucks, actually.
Have you seen? I went to go look to see what the character models look like for Q, because people were saying that they didn't look like Persona
chibi.
character models. They look like
they're a bit chibi.
The Atrean Odyssey or whatever you were talking about. They look like characters from that. So I've been looking up that stuff, but I just came across the Japanese limited edition Persona Q 3DS. It's so cool. Why do we never get cool stuff like this?
Oh, the blue one with the really cool grimoire stuff on it. Yeah.
Le grimoire.
Yeah. So it's a spin-off. If you really like the social stuff from Persona, you're probably going to be missing a lot of that. The dungeon crawling is pretty good. And, of course, you have the same old favorite characters, and there's a crossover between Persona 3 and 4. But, yeah, actually, you can apparently buy that in the US, too. You can get that 3DS. So if you want to get it, you can get it. But still, Persona 4 Golden was, like, my second favorite game last year, and I beat that and got, like, the best ending. And I was really, really happy with it. I was engrossed by that game. Persona 3 didn't quite capture me the same way. I think because Persona 4 Golden makes a lot of nice mechanical changes to the game that make the game feel a lot better. Whereas Persona 3, not so much. But I'm looking forward to Persona 5, of course. And for the meantime, Persona Q seems like it's a lot of fun. Unless you hated Atrean Odyssey, in which case, don't play it. The first-person dungeon crawling with the labyrinths, if you didn't like that, then this is Persona in that universe. So, don't. Do not.
All right. One of these days, I have to check out a Persona game.
Play Persona 4 Golden on Vita. It's great. It's a really cool experience. If you get through the first 2 hours, because the first 2 hours is nothing but story. Like, they don't let you do anything. So once you've got through that, things get pretty good. But it's a very dialogue-heavy game.
Well, if I can get through games like Xenogears when I was like 13, I'm pretty sure I can get through dialogue.
Cutscenes, the video game, yeah.
The last CD of that game was like, read a book, the game.
Yeah.
Like when it first loads, it's like 12 minutes of just text. It's like, since you last played on the last CD, here's what's happened. Like, what is going on? Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Like, they've been trying desperately to fix some of the problems with Far Cry 4. I had a conversation with one of my NVIDIA friends, because I was like, how is it possible that NVIDIA can be like, NVIDIA, how it's meant to be played, and I have NVIDIA cards SLI'd, and it is awful. Just awful. And he's like, we're aware. This is entirely their fault. Like, I was like, well, all right, just fix it. They're like, we're working on trying to fix it. It's going to be fixed. I was like, okay. The fact that I have to use just one card and it barely runs says a lot about this game. I'm just saying, guys, I love this game, but by God, is it impossible to play and record? Like, it is just a mess. So we'll see what happens there, but it's still an incredibly fun game. So if you don't care about recording games, go pick it up, is what I would say. Far Cry 4. It's a hoot.
I have kind of stopped playing it. I think I've had my fill. Because it's Far Cry 3. It's the same fucking game.
But the story, I think, I like the story in this one better than I do in
because Far Cry 3 story was terrible. You remember? Did you read the article where the writer was saying, "Oh, it was actually a big satire, and nobody got it"?
No,
it's like, yeah, that's because you wrote it badly.
No.
Oh,
Far Cry
satire,
3,
man. Come on now.
Far Cry 3 story was driven on the basis of they had an incredible actor playing an incredible villain that you were like, I want to complete more of this game to see what this guy's going to do next.
Well, that certainly sounds familiar. That's basically Far Cry 4 in a nutshell.
But Far Cry 4, actually, like, there's story and plot, and there's reasons for it. The one thing they don't explain, everything's explained and great in Far Cry 4, except for your character. Everything else has a fully fledged... Everything else is fully fleshed out and wonderful, but the minute in Far Cry 4 you land, you all of a sudden are, like, hunting and climbing mountains and doing, like, carrying guns. It's like, why is this man just came to bury his mom's ashes? This is insane. Why are you climbing mountains now? They're like, go on that hang glider, slide down that rope. And it's like, what? Who would do this?
He has no personality of his own. He is a pair of trousers that the player puts on, basically, and they wear him and they walk around in him. He is a blank slate. And then everyone else is supposed to be interesting. But I don't care about anyone else in that world other than Pagan Min and the cool guy with the guns that keeps preaching to you. Those two characters are
he's pretty
great. And then everything else, I definitely don't care about the two leaders of the Golden Path. Their consistent squabbles are just annoying. And it's not that their writing's always a miss. I almost bought into Amita's argument about turning Kyrat into a drug state. Almost. And then I realized, no, that's fucking dumb. It's like, they set up these kind of faux moral quandaries that are like, no, the obvious answer is not to do that. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to be devil's advocate. Yeah, but your argument's not in any way convincing.
No, I will agree with you on that. I think the moral quandaries in Far Cry, I don't approach Far Cry like it's a real world thing. I'm like, I'm going to go have fun and blow shit up. Like, Pagan Min is like, we're going to F shit up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm at that point when I play.
It's got to be silly, man.
The moral quandaries in Far Cry 3, spoilers for a game that's years old, but at the end, you have to make a moral quandary between killing your girlfriend and friends or not. That's not a moral quandary. Just don't kill them. Why would you kill them?
Well, I mean, even the game recognizes that. Right, spoiler alert is now on. You keep doing this to me. Fuck. I can't put the spoiler. You keep spoiling video games without me being able to press this button. Spoiler alert's on now. The thing is, like, it's not even a real choice because if you choose to kill them, you then die. So it's like the game is like, tut, shouldn't have done that. So really, there is only one ending to that game. So,
it's a very weird thing they add to it. But with that said, I think the fact that they understand how wacky and crazy it is goes to the new, like, Pagan Min is a new character.
But I don't think they do, though. Like, I
am convinced of it.
Yeah, but none of the other characters in the world understand it. Like, they're in this is where the ludonarrative dissonance thing comes in. Like, they are really dead serious all the fucking time, and yet you're riding around on fucking elephants running over civilians and shit, and nobody cares.
Well, I think that's like the crazy, like, through the looking glass thing where it's just like you're riding on elephants running people over and everyone's cool with that because it happens all the time there. And I think like I love that.
Maybe you could argue that it's a place out of time and space where that stuff's just normalized, but I run into problems with the dialogue when it clashes with all of my actions. It's like, I'm just murdering like hundreds of people. Like, what did the Royal Army ever do wrong? Like, they were conscripted in. They didn't have a fucking choice. They're not evil. They're just doing what they're told. And then
I agree with you on that, but I just don't care. I'm like, I enjoy murdering these people. I don't care.
You've got to turn your brain off. And the problem is that Far Cry's writers don't want you to turn your brain off. Like, they refuse to let go of it. It's like, we're talented, guys. Honestly, like, yeah, I'm sure you are, but you're being given a Far Cry game to work with. Like, if you were given a narrative game, I'm sure you'd do a lot better.
You can tell how creative they are based off the fact that Blood Dragon was so amazing.
Yes.
Like, that game was fantastic.
That's what happens when you give the writers free reign to write the game Far Cry's supposed to be, instead of, like, we gotta be serious, like, this is a real-world thing, and, like, this is a story about something you're supposed to care about. I don't care about it. Nobody should care about it. It's silly.
All I want is a sequel with Max Powers Cold.
Yeah.
Or Max Cold Powers, whatever his name was. That's an amazing game that from start to finish, 4 hours long maybe, still fantastic. Like a fantastic standalone. If they could just make one of those every year, I'd be happy. You just spend your time on that. Make me one of those every year where I fight giant brains that shoot laser beams. Make that.
All right. Anything else that we've been playing?
I don't think so.
I mean, we played Heroes of the Storm, but we haven't really played that since WoW came out.
Oh, they just had a new patch today, I guess, is a new thing. So that's
really new stuff. What's happened?
Everything, all new today. Blizzard did like a whole everything's new. It's new for you. So Hearthstone has
Jane
new
is
cards.
in it. Okay, so they put
Jane
in.
In it. They added a reindeer mount that looks awesome, actually.
Great.
They have put dance, victory, and taunt animations into the game. They have. Oh, Countess Kerrigan now transforms into a bat while mounted. That's pretty cool. I like that.
That's cool.
They've improved all of the Elite Tauren Chieftain skins. That's awesome because I own all of those. That's my main.
They improved Malfurion. They made him look not like a character from Warcraft 3, but in fact a new updated model. I'm trying to think of everything they did. They made a lot of change. Massive change to Tassadar. There's a post that came out today that's literally like, it's one of the devs going through every change and explaining why they made the change, which I think is really cool. But when it gets to Tassadar, there's a little red text that like, there were many changes to Tassadar. Click here to see them all. It's like, la la la.
They completely reworked them. Oh, they added what they're calling stim packs, which you can buy with. You buy these with real money, I assume. Each game completed while a stim pack is after. It's basically a booster. You get 100% XP and 150% gold. They're boosters. Honestly, I don't mind boosters. I've said it before. I think boosters are the least egregious way of doing well, they're not the least. Cosmetics are the least, but I think boosting is not unreasonable for a free-to-play game. I like it. It's because it's kind of an equal. The problem is it's kind of an equalizer for those of us that don't have the time to play so much, so we can kind of keep on the level of our friends. But simultaneously, people that play a lot can also benefit from them and just like rocket ahead. But in a game like Heroes of the Storm, it doesn't matter because they took all of that progression out. So really, I think it's okay. But XP is almost pointless. I think I'd buy a stim pack maybe to go through the stupid grind of unlocking everyone's talents, which only really it's 2 wins to get everyone's talents in Heroes of the Storm. So
sometimes it's 1, depending on how long the game goes.
So if you got a booster, then you're pretty much guaranteed after 1 win to unlock all the talents. I could see me buying one to do that, but outside of that, like, why would you? It's like 150% gold. Yeah, but I mean, isn't gold you could spend instead of real money? So you're spending real money to gain fake currency, which you can then spend instead of real money. Okay. What worries me is they're going to make other stuff like either gold only, or they're going to do stuff that requires like more experience. Because we know they removed things like artifacts, which I thought was a terrible idea from the outset.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit worried that this is going to be a little prelude to something that they're planning to do with progression. I hope not.
I want to, while we're on the topic of Blizzard games, I want to talk about Hearthstone really quickly, and the fact that
Goblins
I think I was ahead of
gnomes coming soon,
I think I was ahead of the curve in my deck, Thrall's Balls. That's basically Murloc, my Murloc deck. Okay. Apparently, my Shaman deck with Murlocs actually paid off. And sticking with it, because now they've announced 2 Shaman-only Murloc cards, and the legendary Neptulon card is add 4 random Murlocs to your hand.
Oh.
And that's a Shaman-only card. So basically, they've justified.
You set the meta. There you go.
I set the meta. I created a meta here.
You know what I'm really looking forward to with Goblins and Gnomes is that the meta is going to be completely fucked, and I can play whatever stupid shit I want, and it'll probably be good.
I know,
at least
right?
for a few weeks. I
Thank
can't
God.
wait. There's so many random cards in there. I can't wait to make more like all random decks. Like change my Randu and Rin deck around, and it looks like because they're adding more of everything, the decks that I want to do, like I want to do a stealth deck, but there's not enough stealth creatures right now to do it. But with this, there should be. I want to do a Wind Fury deck, but there's not enough cards for it. But with this, there should be. So that's going to be fun. Like, it's going to be great for those of us that just play stupid decks and don't care about the competitive meta.
Thank God.
And it'll
You're
be
not
great
playing
for-
a competitive deck. Why are you doing it?
But it'll be great for like those guys who do play competitively because now they don't have
Everything's up in the air.
If they keep updating it, quick, faster and faster every time, eventually the online builds and the net decks won't be an issue
As effective.
Like,
Yeah.
They need to keep doing that. This is the problem the Hearthstone's had up to this point. Like, the amount of content that they've released in a year is criminally low. Like, it's stupid. They changed, like, 2 cards in the beta. They got rid of Greater Heal and replaced it with Shallower Death. And then there was, like, one other card, I think, that they changed that I can't remember. And then they released a 30-card expansion, and then nothing, basically. Fuck all.
Yeah.
They added, like, Elite Tauren Chieftain in. It's like, hey, there's a new legendary. It's like, you've
it
been
was
out
a joke.
for
It's
a
a
year.
joke legendary.
Yeah, you've been out for a year. We need more than that. Like, what is it like? Magic the Gathering releases 4 sets a year,
Yeah.
like, and 2 of them are huge. Come on, you got to be faster because that's
I
what
think-
stops the meta from getting stale. I stopped playing. Like, I
I
haven't
did
played
too.
Hearthstone in like a month because
There's no reason to.
I'm just bored. You know, I need more stuff to mess around with.
Yeah. People are like, go
I-
play
I-
arenas, but it's like even arenas are like
It's the
pick
same
same thing.
Yeah, because everyone knows the tier list for arenas, so you're gonna run up against the same shit. Like, there's gotta be that guy that has fucking 6 flame strikes and 4 fucking yetis, and just because he got lucky and but no, I mean, this is gonna throw everything up in the air. I'm looking forward to it.
That's what's fun too.
Next
Is
Rammus was
like
summer,
you might
guys,
be
in the
like,
chat.
Yeah,
it's like anything where they're like, oh, the Yeti's the best pick here, and then what if the new card? It's like all Yetis will die when played or something. It's like, oh, okay.
there's been a lot of
think-
concern. Sorry, Jesse, go ahead.
No, I'm trying to think because I remember having a lot of conversations with Blizzard guys at BlizzCon this year, and I think the reasoning behind them not having a lot of like when you think about it, for WoW, Pandaria was out. It was the longest expansion they've ever done. Like, there was a year with no new content, basically. You look at
Over a
Hearthstone.
year.
Oh, yeah, you look at Hearthstone. The last time there was new content was in the summer. Heroes is perpetually in alpha, right? And then you have StarCraft, which is just, it's StarCraft. There's no content to the expansion or whatever the next one is. And so what they were saying, and I think this is their new philosophy, is all that time was used to make it so that starting from like this next launch cycle, everything's coming out rapidly. Like, that's their goal. So they said they wanted to make WoW, for example, a 2 expansion or like 6.1, 6.2, 7. They're on to the next expansion, right? So they want to make that fast. They want to make Hearthstone rapid. They want to make Heroes, like, we're going to introduce new things and new things all the time. Like, and so I think they took a like development time out to create things so they can launch them quickly. At least that's what I was told. That's all, we'll have to wait and see. That's down the line. That's next year. But that's good news if it's true. If that in the future is true, that means that they'll have a ton of stuff to release constantly, which I think
They
is
have the
good. I think
manpower
that's
to do it.
nice.
Well, I mean, Hearthstone's making money hand over fist for them now, which means that I hope they've expanded the team, especially since they've stopped
Yeah.
making Titan now. So they can get some of the resources out of that. Obviously, they're making Overwatch at the moment, too. But Hearthstone is a big moneymaker for them right now. So, yeah, like, release more stuff. I've seen, like, the community on, say, Reddit, for instance, has been quite negative about the Goblins versus Gnomes cards. A lot of people complaining about the randomness. I
Because
think-
they're fun?
Well, the thing is that's a subreddit that really like seems to dig the competitive scene of Hearthstone. I'm going to be honest. I hate watching Hearthstone competitive. I
do
hate
too.
It is
It's
horribly dull
So
to me.
boring.
Yeah,
Everyone
I
at-
watch a stream totally. And I explained it pretty well, I think, last time. Is the cool thing about watching a stream is you can kind of put yourself in the shoes of the person playing, and you don't know what this guy's gonna draw next because you can't see his hand. So there's like that element of mystery. But when you can see both hands and they're playing the same fucking meta decks that they always do, and it's like, oh, he's beaten this deck now, well, I guess he's now going to use this deck. I think it might be a format problem as well. Because the way that they do, like, the best of 7...
They should do a timed Hearthstone match where it's like Nosdormu effect right off the start.
I'd love that.
That would be so... And then you get the casting in. It's like, oh, man, and here he comes. Oh, he draws this. What's he going to do? He's got 15 seconds to decide. And you can't sit there and be like, well, if I calculate the algorithm by using the Yeti... And the... Like, come on.
That's the
like,
biggest problem with Hearthstone. That's the biggest problem with Hearthstone watching, is it's like playing against the guy who takes too long. Like, every single one of those that you watch is like playing against the dude who's like, yeah, but it's both sides. And if Dodger was here, she would completely agree with this. At BlizzCon, people would go to watch those tournaments, sit down, and halfway through the crowd, like, would thin out drastically because it's boring as shit to watch. Like, there's no amount of casting that can save two dudes who are like, like, there's nothing. It's one of those things that it's like
chess.
It's like tennis and baseball for me. More fun to play than actually watch.
Yeah,
like
it's like
the
it's the opposite of
fall
StarCraft.
asleep.
You know, it's like I can't play StarCraft because it's really complicated and crazy, but I love watching competitive StarCraft. It's the opposite for me. Like for Hearthstone, I'd much rather just play a game of Hearthstone or watch someone stream and have a bit of fun.
It's like watching hockey versus baseball. You got like hockey's like, oh, and he smashes on the board, and here it comes right. And then baseball's like, and the pitch, and he's got it. Wind up, go back to the mound now, and here comes the. He's gonna step back, adjust his glove. Coming up this fall, you can check out our TV series on this channel.
Yeah, they're like family time.
And here comes the manager. He's gonna talk to him for a solid 5 minutes, calm him down. Again, you can go check out our TV series.
No, like, time for a commercial break. It's like commercial breaks in the middle of sports. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I like. I think your idea, Crendor's great. I think what it should have is kind of a casual between friends mode with modifiers. Like there should be a mode where there's a permanent Lore Walker Cho effect, and you got to play around that. Yeah. There should be a mode where again Nosdormu timed effect. Just all these kind of fun ideas. Like maybe there's a third random NPC player. Like maybe you could integrate the bosses in. Like you're playing against each other, but there's also a boss off to the side that keeps fucking with you from time to time. Like, throws random effects in. That would be really fun. I think that would be
like it could even like the time mode. It could even be the Nosdormu map. Like have the sand always going or something. Like
have him make remarks every once in a while about how you're too slow. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't seem like that'd be too hard to do either.
No, I mean that's easy to do, one would think. You just have to set up. You need a casual mode where you're able to invite people and then you have a set of modifiers basically. It's mutators from fucking a real tournament, you know? It's or some other people are calling it Special Smash or whatever. Yeah, that. I mean, Hearthstone ultimately is a casual card game. It's got a lot of RNG in it. I accept that it can be played at a competitive level. I personally don't find it entertaining to watch at a competitive level. So I don't mind there being cards that have random effects. Some of them maybe are going a little far because while it is fun for RNG to go right, it's horribly not fun for RNG to go wrong for you. But simultaneously, just don't put them in your fucking deck. You don't want Matter Bomber to kill half your board? Then don't put Matter Bomber in your deck.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I'm putting him in immediately.
I do right away.
Are you kidding me? 6 damage randomly distributed? It's going to be hilarious.
I just want some nerd guy that's like, this is the best card for this. Then I play Matter Bomber. It just kills all his things. Just like, your math isn't good here.
2 nights ago, whatever the 30th was, I logged in to get I'm under level 20 or rank 20, so I can get a card back.
Yep. Yeah.
And so I logged in, and the first guy I played against was a dude who you could tell right off the bat what he was doing. The first card he played was this guy that was like, whenever a card with Death Rattle is summoned, gain 1/1.
Oh, Undertaker,
and I was like,
very powerful. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, so I know what you're doing. So the first thing I did was play Earth Shock. I was like, all right, Earth Shock. And he's like, bro, and he like just left the game. I was like,
wow.
Yay!
So the chances are he probably had he was playing kind of Death. Was he playing a Warlock by any chance?
Yeah, Warlock, and he had
Warlock,
Death Rattle the entire time.
Yeah. Well, Undertaker's really strong. Like, Undertaker is a stronger version of Secret Keeper. I like playing Secret Keeper. I think it's hilarious because if I like to play my trap deck, which has like 12 traps in it, or with the mage deck now where you can put like 14 secrets in, I think, because of duplicate.
Yeah.
So it's like I just play a bunch of secrets. I'm like, it works well with paladin decks too because they're like one mana. So you play out a bunch of secrets and suddenly your 1/2 for 1 is now a fucking 4/5 and it's about to punch your face off. But Death Rattle is so much better because Death Rattle cards are good anyway, whereas a lot of secrets aren't. So you don't have to make a sacrifice. You just throw down your fucking Undertakes like, here's Sludge Belcher, which is like a top tier card anyway. Great. Yeah. So he's behind a Sludge Belcher. I can't get to him, and you keep fucking buffing him. I hate you so much.
Yeah, it was so silly, and I was just like, the minute he threw it down, I was like, all right, well, you're not using that because you can see what their deck like. It's very obvious what strategies are, and I think when they
net decking is so prevalent.
Yeah, when they release a bunch more down the line, and that's from a guy I haven't played sat down to play Hearthstone since the month before when I had to get under 20 to get a card back. Like that's literally so I logged in, knew what this guy was going to do immediately, and was like, all right, well, I'm going to win this. It's a weird. I don't know. Yeah, when they get new cards, the game will change, and it should be a lot more fun.
I mean, I don't think it's something you could really avoid with an online card game because net decking is super easy to do because it's very easy to acquire all of the cards pretty much instantly. As opposed to like Magic the Gathering where it's like, well, I have to go on eBay to buy them, or like I've got to buy singles, or I've got to get booster packs. It takes time. And I think I assume, I don't actually know this, so correct me, Magic the Gathering fans, if I'm wrong here, but I assume the meta moves a bit slower, or net decking's a bit less prevalent than in Hearthstone, but in Hearthstone it's rife. It really is. You can recognize almost immediately from the first couple of cards they put down what deck they're playing, because it'll be a meta deck most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. Right. And it's just dull. That's kind of why I like playing Arena, but even that, you're going to see the same cards because a tier list says so. This tier list says you must pick Yeti in almost every circumstance, so you fight a lot of Yetis, and you can guarantee that every mage has fucking 3 or 4 flame strikes, you know?
Yeah.
I'm the one thing I'm happy about going back to Heroes is for a long time I just played Lily because Lily was a lazy character and I could just sit there and like be focused on they buffed Lily. I'm like, yay!
Yep.
So now I can do 2 things and still do more healing. Like, all right, no, I'm definitely not reading this other thing and just pressing 2 buttons.
They buffed Illidan too, so Sinvicta's all like, oh yeah, Illidan buff.
This should be a fun
I wonder if they buffed any of the heroes I play. They probably nerfed the shit out of them.
They nerfed Nova. They nerfed.
They didn't touch Uther. My dog's still strong.
No, they touched Uther.
They didn't.
Uther's heal got reduced.
Chieftain, which is good.
His heal is like the least important thing Uther does. Out of all the things he's good for.
They nerfed Anuba Rack. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he's like the strongest in the game.
Oh, he's overpowered as balls.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And Nazebo. That's kind of a buff actually for Nazebo. They changed Death Ritual, but you don't get the permanent health and mana buff from anything that's not a lane minion, so you don't get it from jungling. But the health and mana increase is up, so playing lane Nazebo seems to be the way to go. That's cool. They nerfed Stitches slightly.
It's interesting. Or with Abathur, you see Abathur, they made his slow 4 seconds now instead of 2 with his nests.
Wow, that's actually significant.
Yeah. Huh. Like, that's really good now. You could just put those all over the map and keep slowing everybody.
All right, fair enough. Anything else we played this week?
I don't know that there is.
I mean, I played Warcraft 3. I'm almost done with it now. So I'm let's playing it. I've been beating Husky in the thing. Since Husky started like 2 years ago, and he's still not done. He just started yesterday.
Husky doesn't make videos anymore. Come on.
He just started again yesterday.
The most amazing thing is playing WoW with Crendor and then hearing him be like, I was playing Warcraft 3. I didn't know that this was a character. I'm like, you dummy.
Says the master of lore over there. Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know. I can't even believe. I didn't even know who Rexar was. I'm like, shut up.
I didn't.
Shut up.
Because I played when I started playing WoW, I'd never played an MMORPG before, so I'm like, I'm just gonna play. And I was like, this game's pretty fun.
MMORPG. It has to do with 10 years of
prior
video games.
To me, Rexar was a guy that just walked around Desolus, and he was really annoying to find. And I was like, man, this sucks. Rexar's dumb. And then I play this, I'm like, oh my god, Rexar's awesome. It's like,
So I'm looking at all the new cards they just unveiled on Facebook. You can pirate deck looks viable now. They've added more pirates to the game, so we can finally pull that shit off. That's great. Yeah, this is going to revitalize the game for me in a huge way, I think. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'll challenge you to another terrible deck battle.
Oh, absolutely. But you better make sure your decks are actually gimmick decks. Wasn't it last time that you just built normal decks and then pretended they were gimmick decks? Because fuck you.
It's so gimmicky, though.
The gimmick is they're not gimmicks.
No, I played the Hunter Trap deck.
That's not a gimmick. That was the meta.
Not a gimmick.
You twat. That was the meta. What the fuck? Oh my god, the Warbot. That's pretty good. 1 mana, 1/3 enrage +1 attack. That's legit. That's a good card.
Oh,
that is a good card.
The Wee Spell Stopper. Adjacent minions can't be targeted by heroes or spell powers. That's fucking cool.
Ooh, whoa, that's pretty good. The Giblin Stalker, it's a 2/3 stealth for 2.
Now you guys are over my head.
Oh, did you see the Steam Wheel Sniper? Steam Wheel Sniper is a 2/3 hunter card. Your hero power can now target minions.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. And then there's the Druid of the Fang, which is like a 4/4 for 5, which sounds terrible. But if you have a beast, it's a 7/7. What?
Oh my god, the Hobgoblin? You see the Hobgoblin?
What does that
Hobgoblin? Is it just a hashtag
3?
law on it?
He's a 3 mana, and he's a 2/3, but whenever you play a 1 attack minion, give it +2/+2.
Wow.
What? Throw that in the Murloc deck.
That's some angry chicken synergy right there. Get down that fucking angry chicken immediately.
And you get a 3...
Dude, a chicken army! A Hobgoblin and all chicken. Real.
You get a 6/7 for, like, hardly any mana. Oh, man. This is awesome.
New weapons.
Crendor, he's leaving. He's so excited he's leaving.
I'm getting out of here.
Awesome.
The power mix. This isn't a
Dude,
new
my Murloc deck is gonna be great. What? I can't. Thrall's Balls is back, baby. Thrall's Balls is back.
Whoa, the Kazan Mystic, take control of a random enemy secret.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Mal'Ganis, legendary warlock demon, 9/7 for 9. Your other demons have +2/+2. Your hero is immune. Holy fuck. Wow, I could finally play my demon deck, and maybe it won't. Well, actually, it will. So
gotta save your hex. Gotta save your hex for that card. Knowing that card exists, save it.
Oh god, I mean, my demon deck still sucks. The warlock demonology deck is like the worst deck in the game because half the demons are terrible. But if you somehow survive till turn 9 with Mal'Ganis, they're all good now.
Can you Mal'Ganis Jaraxxus? Can you go Mal'Ganis and then immediately go Jaraxxus?
I hope so.
Or Jaraxxus into Mal'Ganis. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, that would take 2 turns to do, but yeah.
You go Jaraxxus to save your life, and then you go Mal'Ganis to win the game. Done.
Yeah, that might work. Oh, if you somehow... You have to play like a stalling warlock deck, and then you could play that, and I think the things would get very interesting.
The one-eyed cheat's really cool. The pirate guy, where he's a 2 mana, and he's a 4/1, but whenever you summon a pirate, you gain stealth, so you can just attack and then play a pirate and keep getting stealth. Yeah.
Felreaver. Whenever your opponent plays a card, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. 5 mana, 8/8. Fuck me. That is... I mean, but again, you could just silence that. Like, that's a neutral. So you play a class that has silence. Oh, he has the synergy. He has the wild synergy with that. Fucking Wailing Soul. Wailing Soul synergy with Felreaver. You play your Felreaver, then you Wailing Soul to silence all your dudes. And you have like an Ancient Watcher down, so now that can attack. Yeah. That's going to make my every card has negative consequences deck a reality. I'm looking forward to that.
What? Yeah, thank you, Landrasil. He's right. Jesse's onto it. You can summon 8/8 Infernals for 2, and he has to kill Mal'Ganis before attacking you. Boom! That's it. I just made a meta.
If you set up a situation like that, then the guy is fucked regardless, I think. Oh, man.
That works.
Oh, man, the shaman finally got healing again, too. They got the vitality totem.
Finally.
At the end of your turn, restore 4 health to your hero.
Totemic, whatever it is, the one that buffs totems, finally a use for that thing.
Yep.
No, I still think that's terrible, but whatever.
Thank God Metzen loves Thrall, or else that would be the loss. My years of trying to play as Thrall would be wasted.
Oh, man. There's some Dark Whispers. Summon 5 wisps. or give a minion +5/+5 and taunt.
Wait, Wisp are 1/1 or
Yeah.
Wisp 1/1? Can you
Yes,
throw?
they
Can
are.
you have? Can you use the Hobgoblin and the?
Yep. Here's what you do. You throw your Hobgoblin down, Dark Whispers, and then the Elite Tauren Chieftain Iron Murloc card. Yeah, there you go.
Oh man.
The synergy. Then that thing just kills everything on the board. Like,
Whoa,
my.
yeah, because then you can just use your guys to kill, and then just throw down the other one and fill up your deck. Fill up your
have you
board
seen
again.
Morgar the Ogre? All minions have a 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy.
Oh my god, that's
Holy
amazing.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited now for this.
Yeah, I'm excited now. This is cool. Trade Prince Gallywix. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain a copy of it and give them a coin.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's like really
Neptulon.
bad against rogues.
Oh yeah, we talked about Neptulon. That's the random Murlocs card. That's sweet.
That's Shaman only. Plus, there's 2 new Murloc cards only for Shaman. So my deck, my years of practicing a Murloc Shaman deck are gonna
gonna
pay
be it.
off, baby.
Oh, have you
I'm
seen
excited.
Vol'jin? His battle cry is swap health with
He's
another
a
minion.
priest.
He starts. Yeah, he's a priest card for some inexplicable reason, but he's 6/2, but you get to steal another minion's health, which is pretty neat.
'Cause
Oh,
Vol'jin
man,
and
they
Anduin,
made
they're best
the-
buddies.
Oh my god, Iron Juggernaut. Battlecry, shuffle a mine into your opponent's deck. When drawn, it explodes for 10 damage. The worst top deck in the game. Holy
Wait,
shit.
what? Wait. So when drawn, like no matter
deals
what,
10
if you pick it up,
Yeah. That's
but there's a chance it may not be drawn. It may not,
but it might be. I mean, that's actually a level of RNG that I'm not even sure I'm comfortable with, because that's just fucking mean. Like, what if they top deck it and then die? They couldn't do anything at all. There's no way to stop that.
That is pretty ruthless. That's
They
pretty.
just
that's
added
stuff.
they added an amazing board clear, the light bomb for priest. Deal damage to each minion equal to its attack. So if you have a minion that's
Fuck.
3/2, it's gonna do 3 damage to itself and it's dead for all
Yeah.
the minions. So like those big like the 8/8s, like the Iron Bark, that's
They're
dead.
dead. Yeah.
Oh man, priest.
Interesting.
Priest
Holy
OP.
shit. The synergy. I play my mill deck, the one that forces players to draw cards, with the fucking Iron Juggernauts. That's going to be amazing. Like, draw some cards. Every time he draws a card, he's going to be like, oh! That's going to be incredible.
Especially against warlocks who they have to rely on their card drawing abilities.
Oh, yes. Oh, and yes,
my
have
God.
some mines. Well, that's brilliant,
yeah,
because
use
that
your
the
special.
Warlock draw, that fucks Warlocks hard, because their Warlock draw costs them health. Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
Continue, please, using that. Yeah.
This is... Oh, man. Okay, we're going to do a break. When we come back, we'll talk about some news. There is some. Steam has added a new feature, which I think we're all going to hate.
Boy.
So we'll talk about that. You're watching the Co-Optional Podcast. Do not go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast for the final 45 minutes or so of the show. Before we get into the news... Well, I guess this kind of is news. The Jeff Keighley Game Awards are going to be kicking off in a few days. The spiritual successor to VGX and the Spike TV Awards and all that kind of stuff. But it's headed up by Jeff Keighley himself, and he's actually funding the damn thing out of his own pocket by the sounds of it, which is kind of crazy. That's happening on Friday, December the 5th, 2014. Shameless plug, I'm nominated and currently leading for Trending Gamer, whatever that means.
You're
I
a
don't know if that
trending gamer.
Apparently, I'm a trending gamer, so I could be the trendingest gamer. Like, it's all possible. So. TheGameAwards.com/nominees.
Strongly
if you wish to vote.
disagree.
wish to
Strongly
vote.
disagree.
I mean, the picture is pretty handsome. I mean,
Strongly
look at
disagree.
it. Look at this. Look at this face. Can you resist this face? Look at it.
Strongly disagree.
Look at these people. Who are these? They've got like, you can't even see them because I can't fit them in the window. Look at that. You can only see the tops of their heads. Look in those eyes. Tell me if those eyes look honest to you. No. But you only see one of PewDiePie's eyes. Does he look honest to you? No. But look at these eyes. Have a look.
Oh,
at
speaking of PewDiePie, can we take a moment to appreciate that tomorrow's South Park is a spoof of Let's Players, and I can't wait for it.
I know.
am looking forward to that a great deal. Like
The fact that
might be
Cartman
the best
is basically
episode.
PewDiePie.
That might be the best episode since the WoW one. We'll see. I don't
I'm
watch
really
South Park
excited
that
for
much,
it.
but I will definitely look at that.
Dude, all I have to say is if you haven't watched this season, go and watch this season is very if you're on the internet and you enjoy netty things, it's this season. This season, they've done Oculus Rift, they've done microtransactions, they've done literally everything there is to do. They've done Kickstarter. They've spoofed everything. The Oculus Rift episode is hilarious. Like, it is basically the Matrix, or not Matrix, Inception, where it's just like it's wonderful. But apparently, yeah, tomorrow's episode is Cartman being a Let's Player, but commenting of it's what I wanted to do. I feel like, look, Matt, Trey, if you watch this, I want to let you know you guys stole my idea of doing a what the fuck is WTF is, where it's just me commenting over TV, commenting on video games. You stole my idea, but I'm gonna let it slide because I like yous.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I can't. Everyone was like, "Oh God, this is gonna suck." No way. If anything, it justifies years of doing Let's Play videos because it makes it a real thing now. It was on South Park. They've commented on it. It's in the world now.
I really hope that they make PewDiePie's character just a dead pig on a stick that they just. I hope around.
I hope if it's South Park, he will be shot in the head at the end. Somebody will die, and some way PewDiePie will die.
They're gonna like anally probe him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He'll be riding a bike, and then suddenly he'll crash into a wall of spikes. The end. You know.
I just picture them like going over the top. He's like, "Oh, it's like turns into like an exorcist."
Yeah, I was gonna say. It turns out he's actually possessed, and then they are able to exercise him, and he turns into a completely normal Swede. By the end of it. Like, wow, I had no idea I was doing that. I'm so sorry. This is friendly banter, guys. We don't actually hate PewDiePie. He is.
Or if you like the idea, you can hire us as writers.
We're jealous. Don't get me wrong, but
he follows me on Twitter now. He's awesome.
That's all it takes, guys.
I hope he never retweets anything you say.
We're best friends. He follows me on Twitter.
We had 2 Twitter conversations. We're practically besties.
No, everyone was like, kill me. He's going to be an episode. I'm like, great. That sounds like a funny-ass episode. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
I'm sorry, are you complaining about an obnoxious character in South Park? That's South Park. Everyone's obnoxious. Come on, he'd fit right in.
I think that's funny how people on the thing are just like, oh my God, they're going to have PewDiePie on. It's like, it's obvious they're going to make fun of him. They're not going to be like, he's a great guy.
No one has ever been on that show and been like, I am here to tell you about. Like, everyone is destroyed on that show.
Well, again,
just
treat him what he is. PewDiePie is a character. Felix is a cool Swedish guy with far too much money.
Like, ever since I played Smite with him, and he was just like, hey, how's it going? He's just like a really normal person.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's a regular person.
Well, I mean, I actually watched his podcast out of
Strongly
curiosity.
disagree. He's a millionaire. He's not another person. He's a millionaire.
No. But, I mean, I watched his podcast with Cinnamon Toast, and it was cool, for the most part. Yeah, he's savvy as well. Like, if he ever ends up actually starting a YouTube network, I imagine that people will actually join that, because he seems like he's got his head straight when it comes to business. Anyway, let's talk. So, yeah, Game Awards. We'll see how that turns out.
Game Awards.
Hold on. Chat's like, no, Jesse, they treated Lord pretty well. They had 3 episodes where Lord was Stan's dad, was a man. Lord was a man. Just because at the end of that 3-episode cycle, they were like, yeah, F you, Lord's awesome. They still made Lord a man, internet. Screw you.
Yeah, they...
Just look at WoW. They made WoW people like fat, nerdy, like, I'm not leaving my chair to go to the bathroom.
And, and stuff. And they love WoW, so yeah. PewDiePie
they will lampoon.
Explode.
They're not going to they treat nobody well. Anyway, moving to the news. So, the new Assassin's Creed was apparently leaked.
Yes.
Kotaku managed to grab the scoop on this one. And it will be set, if they are correct. And if they're not, these are some very well-forged screenshots. Let me put it that way. It'll be called Assassin's Creed Victory. And it's going to be set in Victorian London, which is what I thought the last game was set in, but it turned out to be France, because apparently they're interchangeable. But no, this one is actually in London, because there's Big Ben, and there's smoke, and the sky's grey, which indicates to me that it's England and London. And it looks this fucking same. Oh dear. I mean, it looks like Assassin's Creed, like everything else, and it's set for release in 2015, so they're doing the annual release thing again. Different studio making it this time. It's going to be Ubisoft Quebec as opposed to Ubisoft Montreal, who's made all the other ones. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, actually. What was the last thing Ubisoft Quebec actually made? Let's find out.
I think the thing about the article that really cracked me up the first time I saw it during the last break when it was linked to me was it starts with next year's
Oh my
Assassin's
God.
Creed. And immediately I was like, really? Next year's Assassin's Creed?
Oh,
Another
dear.
one.
Okay, so Ubisoft Quebec, basically, they're responsible for ports. They did do some work on Unity, which is definitely not good for your CV, but they did some work on Assassin's Creed Brotherhood as well with Ubisoft Montreal. I'm pretty sure they didn't make Unity, did they? No, they didn't. That was Ubisoft Montreal. Let's go. What the hell? They released the Black Eyed Peas experience on the Nintendo Wii. They did the Wii ports for a lot of Assassin's
Do you
Creed.
remember the commercials for that where it was
No.
like people? Oh my God, there were people in
Well,
a street
I am.
dancing to a wall, and it was like the Black Eyed Peas experience. Like, well, I am, and it's just like
I'm dancing to the wall. Gonna
And the
make
wall would,
everybody
like,
go
move,
and
and the people
fall
would be dancing
down
to the wall.
ground.
So here's the thing.
Blah, blah, blah,
This
blah,
isn't
blah.
the worst thing that they made. This is not the worst. That was not the worst thing they made. They created a wonderful title for the DS called My Stop Smoking Coach with Alan Carr in 2008. I am
I gotta look
not
this up.
kidding.
My stop smoking.
There's
coach.
got. I hope there's. Oh, please tell me there's footage. Let's
there
show
is.
it.
Who's the target audience?
On YouTube.
Who's the target audience for the My Stop Smoking Coach? Because 3DS, there's a bunch of 11-year-olds out there who are just like, man, I gotta quit. This game taught me so much.
A YouTuber named Hispanic Tango has some footage up.
Oh shit, son. All right, we got to find this. I'm.
Hispanic
Wait, give me a link.
Tango.
I need a link.
Hold on, I'll link it right now. Here you go.
Tango.
There's the bid.
Don't
this-
Google
Oh my
Hispanic
God.
Tango. That
Oh
does
wow!
not take
Oh no, there's official footage on the Ubisoft. You're gonna love this. This is on apparently the Ubisoft Quebec YouTube channel. I guess they never really properly set this up because it has 58 views. Oh my God! Right, here it is. Here it is, folks. This is it. I am Alan Carr, the world's leading expert on stopping smoking. I have a global network of stop smoking clinics, and my best-selling book, The Easy Way to Stop Smoking, has been published in 50 countries and has sold over 8 million copies. This is a video game. Here are 6 experts fully trained in the Easy Way method. They are all ex-smokers who stopped with this method, and every one of them has years of experience. How much did this thing cost? Like,
Oh, I'm looking at the video right now. It
my
is a
God.
glorified PowerPoint
TB.
presentation.
It's a PowerPoint.
I've made better PowerPoints than this.
TB, you can't quit smoking and put a price on it. Putting a price on quitting smoking is invaluable. This game is invaluable to us.
the illusion removal loop.
This is incredible. Why does this
Oh
exist?
my God.
I can imagine this existing for anything but a DS. Why is this? What is the target
know.
audience for this? Who are they trying to get to? Because that makes no sense. Like, you know what? Those 8-year-olds.
Well,
gotta quit.
guys.
Gotta get them while they're young.
Yep, got to get them while they're young.
Yep,
what parents
its
want
original
that?
price was $30. It's now available for a bargain price of $6.34 on Amazon right now.
Everyone has been involved with the fake face of getting a video game as a gift that they were like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
Thank you,
Imagine if your
Grandma,
parents bought
for-
you this one.
Like putting
Merry
challenge and
Christmas.
shit like that. Oh my God!
It's great. Thanks, Mom.
Don't worry,
Maybe-
guys. Assassin's Creed is in safe hands.
Oh, my
Holy
goodness.
shit! I mean, I honestly imagine they're going to be bringing in a lot of staff because it's probably not just going to be developed by these guys, but I mean, I'm a little concerned. It's they've done it. The thing is, they've done a lot of because Ubisoft like brings in a lot of people from other teams because they've worked on Watch Dogs, they've worked on Unity and Rogue, which again is not much to say there. They worked on Revelations, but actually making their own games, everything they have made on their own seems to be awful. So I mean, that worries me a little bit.
Here's the problem. First off, there's a major problem with this. There's no opportunity to be a pirate in Victorian England. You can't do it.
No, there is not.
But here's the saving grace, and I'll give them this. If they could come up with this, which I just came up with in my head in 2 minutes, so they had to have thought this out at some point. If they do a Jack the Ripper thing, make the entire story about you tracking him down, make it a mystery, and make it not have you doing a bunch of shitty assassinations. You're trying to stop the assassinations and things because, make your guy not a crazy killer. Make your guy trying to solve mysteries. Change up the game, or otherwise it's just Assassin's Creed. but in a different location.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of gameplay things that they showed which look a bit different. Like, you can fight on top of moving vehicles because of, like, carriages and things like that. And apparently there's a grappling hook, which allows you to move across areas quite rapidly. So it seems like they're going more down the Batman route. But it still looks like Assassin's Creed. So we'll see what they decide to actually do to the combat engine. But it's the combat that it's the combat and the stupid open world, a million collectibles on the map shit that I have a problem with. Someone did a comparison between the original Assassin's Creed's map and Assassin's Creed Unity's map, and Unity's map is just completely cluttered with icons everywhere. Like, they're just like, every 5 feet there's got to be something you can either collect or interact with. It's like, fuck. Quality over quantity, please. Come on.
Oh, well.
Can I just say I've still been watching this nicotine thing. Now it's like the nicotine trap, and a little like cigarette
still
monster
going.
pops up, and he's like, "Rawr, rawr." They're like, "This is your first cigarette. He's inside you."
What the fuck?
I know.
Oh my.
Rawr.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Latest
chat's got a
game.
good idea. The entire time you're trying to stop Jack the Ripper because you're going back in like the mine thing, right? Spoiler, in the end, you are Jack the Ripper.
Oh shit!
I just made your game, Ubi.
You just M Night Shyamalan.
Money, please.
M Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan it.
Yeah. So, well, I'm pretty sure that was not an official announcement. So, if Kotaku hadn't pissed off Ubisoft already, they sure as fuck have now. Don't worry, I'll join you on that particular bandwagon, because Ubisoft have been a little silly this year, let me put it that way. Oh, jeez.
Speaking
I
of
don't know what's
official
going on over
announcements, they officially announced Hearthstone will be out December 8th.
Yay!
It's only 6 days.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, so we can justify our 45-minute discussion of Christmas.
Absolutely.
It's
Topical.
totally because it's coming
8th of
out
December,
soon, guys.
fuck yes. I'm really excited about that. It's kind of sad, like, looking at the games that came out this year, what am I most excited about? A Hearthstone expansion that I'm going to probably drop $100+ on getting all the cards immediately.
Yep.
Oh, I'm
not
excited
doing
to
that.
open packs again. We get to
I'm
open
having
packs
a pack
again.
opening stream.
Yeah, pack opening stream and run ads. And that's evil. We shouldn't do
I'm
that.
just getting donations for packs.
That's even fucking worse.
That's the only thing I accept donations for is just pack openings.
Oh my god.
People give
If
him
you're not
Everyone's
giving me
going to be
packs
doing
on
that.
open
You know
packs,
it's
then I
how
don't
it's
want
going to
your
be.
money.
Well, here's the thing. I hope that they don't pull the same shit like they did last time, where EU gets it first, and then we've got to wait like a day if we're in the
yeah, that
US.
was dumb.
Yeah.
Stupid EU.
Actually, you know what I might be tempted to do? Set up an EU account, only buy Goblins and Gnomes packs, and make decks purely out of Goblins and Gnomes cards. And ladder with them. That might be kind of
that
cool.
would be pretty great.
Yeah. There's going to
Now
be
you've
so
gone
many
full
pack
American.
opening videos. You're going to do it, Crender, aren't you? I know how you are. You put up
I
pack
definitely
opening
will.
videos. Fucking hell.
I was making all my money back from those pack opening
Well,
videos.
yeah, to be fair, like, at least you can say, well, I'm spending money to give you a pack opening video, so, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord of
Exactly.
the Gimmicks is going to be back in a huge way. I'm so
man,
excited.
so excited.
I have to do I made an AoE deck. That's obviously you play a mage, but I got every card in the game that has an AoE or AoE-like effect in it. And that's pretty fun. I might do like one video of that, and then we're going Goblins and Gnomes, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Last time I did a
yeah.
pack opening, I did this. Hold on.
I thought we almost moved on. We almost moved
we
on. I
almost
thought
did.
we were clear.
Let me
Nope.
start the ritual.
What are you doing?
So,
he doing?
last time
He's
I did a
setting
pack
himself on
opening.
fire, I think.
I think he's lighting
Hold
a
on.
candle.
I was gonna say, this appears to be some kind of Buddhist protest. I'm not okay with this.
This is what I did.
Actually, I am.
Last time
Okay.
I did
I'm
a
okay
pack
with him lighting
opening.
stuff on fire.
I was like, all great Lord Jiraxis, bless us with your wisdom and give us the most powerful Hearthstone cards in all the land. In
I
your
want
name
that
we
flame to
pray.
explode and Jiraxis to appear and just kill you. Like,
Trifling, Crendor! Your arrogance will be your undoing!
By the evil powers of Oprah, may we condense our Hearthstone cards into not evil, but to joy. May the Eridar
by the
forces
evil
be
powers
with
of
us.
Oprah, where you make joy. Sure. Yeah, all right. I'll buy that.
And then the summoning ritual is complete.
That is the crazy
incense.
ramblings of a man who does not leave his house much.
And then we incense. People have showed up at my stream and they were just like, why aren't you opening the packs faster? I'm like, this isn't about opening the packs faster. This is about an experience.
No, it's not opening
Savoring
packs
the
faster. I want to do a stream where it's just 2.5 minutes of me opening packs as fast as I can and moving on and being like, all right, done, and see what that does. 16
After each pack,
million
you run
views.
a mid-roll.
Can I just say,
What?
so this is what happened. I used one of my Starbucks cups to open packs because I got a thing where like I'll just use random objects to open the packs and hit spacebar with them, and that's how we determine if it's a lucky thing or not. Oprah was the least lucky,
That's
so I'm
science.
convinced that Oprah is against me in Hearthstone. But
In life in general, Oprah,
So the one
not a
time-
Crendor fan.
I got what was it? What's the shaman legendary?
Alakia? No.
Yeah, Alakir.
Yes.
I opened an Alakir, and I was like, okay, so Oprah got us an Alakir. That's useless. And then later on, I decided to try the Oprah again, and I was like, I swear to God, if she gets us another Alakir, I'm done. And I hit it, another Alakir. I walked away. I literally walked away for like 5 minutes.
I don't. We almost got away from Hearthstone.
That's how we know
Oh, we
Oprah
had a
is
commercial
evil.
break. I thought we had gotten away. I thought we had made it. Nope.
But when we
false.
summoned Jiraxis, that's when the true cards started happening.
I don't.
I'm just saying.
I thought we were so close to it. I thought we were gonna move on.
We are moving
had
on.
changed subjects.
We're going to talk
Yeah,
about
I'm done
Steam
now.
streaming.
Oh.
Stream of Steam. This is a thing.
Stream Steam.
So basically, they're offering what seems to be a fairly similar functionality to the PlayStation 4, and you can stream. And oh Jesus, they're gonna have to clamp down on this. So already people have used the stream for piracy. Someone managed to add VLC
Or-
Media Player as a non-Steam game, and they're just streaming it. They're just streaming anime on Steam. Oh,
I'm trying to
Jesus.
think what the where did I
I
read
imagine
that?
someone streaming porn.
Yes,
imagine
I just
someone-
read a whole list of things that was being streamed, and the one that stood out to me is like right away they're streaming porn, which I thought was really funny.
Well,
Wow,
I
where the
mean,
hell was that?
This is so silly because I'm looking at broadcast tab right now. Someone's streaming Skyrim, and it appears to be a modded Skyrim because that woman has a larger arse than I would have expected. Almost everyone is streaming Sakura Spirit apparently, so that's a big thing. That's an anime game with big boobs.
Wait, how do you see the streams? Where is it?
There's if you go to steamcommunity.com, there's a little thing which lets you see some of the streams.
Yes.
I'm gonna tune into one of them and see what it's like. This is kind of weird because the way that I originally read it was that you can jump into someone else's game and kind of watch them play. Very PlayStation 4-esque. And that made sense because the way that Steam, I thought anyway, was sort of making this happen, is you could jump in, and it's a good way to encourage your friend to buy a game. It's like, hey, watch me play it. And it's easy to jump in. But it seems like, I mean, this is broadcasting to 500 people right now, this thing. And I'm loading it up right now to see how it works. So, I mean, it doesn't, apparently. It's, no, I clicked on it and nothing happened. So, that's interesting. Huh.
Many
Maybe I have to be
Sakura
signed into Steam.
spirits. Many Sakura spirits are being played.
Yeah, it's
What is going on?
I don't know about this because I mean, for one thing, Steam has like literally 2 customer service staff. So how the fuck are they going to moderate these streams? How are they going to have the staff to do it? Like I don't see this being a serious Twitch rival. I mean, but if it's got any client integration, then I can see it being popular to some degree. Thing is, of course, like no one professional is actually going to use this because there's no way to monetize it. So I mean, it's all very casual, but I mean, and I can understand that. Just this guy evidently modded his Skyrim to give this woman a gigantic ass. Like,
I love that. That's the top view thing. It's just
that's Steam in a
big-ass
nutshell, isn't
woman
it?
in Skyrim.
Big ass woman in Skyrim and Sakura Spirit and some. Oh, jeez.
If you ever had to question what the internet was about, the fact that when this thing first releases, the top 2 videos are a big ass woman and then just 2 girls with boobs. That's literally the internet. If you thought it was anything else about like cultural exchange, the only thing that's exchanged are big asses and boobies.
Yeah, apparently
that's
you
the
need
internet,
to be
my friends.
Yeah, you need. So I'm going into the Steam client right now, and I actually only see 2 broadcasts. I'm not sure if they're from my friends. I think these are from people that are on my friends list. If I click see more content, it doesn't show me anything. But it's apparently a beta release at the moment, so if you're not on the beta client, it doesn't work properly. So there is that. I'm going to try and see if I can actually get into this person's broadcast. You've got to opt in to see it. So,
Pass.
I
I don't care.
don't know. It's a weird function. I understand the idea of jumping into a friend's game to watch them play, and that kind of being an interesting social feature, but actual streaming, I don't know.
Well, it's like, if this was 2011 or 12, maybe. But, like, I'm going to sit there like, you got to log in. And I'm like, I'm just going to go to Twitch. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, and it seems like, I think it's very bare bones. Like, all it does is show the game. I don't even know if you have a mic or anything. So
You don't need no mic for that ass.
Oh, Jesus.
Big old ass.
Oh, that's just so silly. I don't know. It seems like a wasted development time. You know, the client's still got issues, and frankly, I think would prefer more resources to be dedicated to customer service than all this shit. But oh dear, I don't know. Yep, someone was streaming porn earlier by the looks of it.
Yep.
Yep, that is porn.
They were streaming some movies as well.
That is
like
a large black penis, actually. Huh.
I think 3 days ago, someone hacked into Sony and got a bunch of the new movies that are coming out soon.
Ooh.
And so people were streaming that on the Steam thing as well. So those are all over the internet. I'm not sure what movies they are, but they got like 3 or 4 movies off their digital servers. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I think that the public streaming idea is really silly. I like the idea of community streams, because I think if you say, all right, well, it's only people on my friends list that can watch, I think you get rid of a massive amount of liability when it comes to like, oh, he's streaming a movie or porn or whatever. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's just a friends list thing. And more importantly, it acts as kind of a demo. So it's friends like, oh, well, I don't know if this game's any good. It's like, oh, well, come watch me play it and see what you think. And you can do it with a click of a button. That sounds great. But for public stuff, you just don't, it doesn't have the technology. It's too bare bones to matter. It's like, oh, well, there's a public list. Yeah, and on Twitch, there's people who are way fucking better at it and have way more capabilities. So just watch those.
I think it goes back to the idea that everyone's sort of, it's like that, it's culture right now. Everyone wants to have that sort of like, people are watching me do things and I'm famous in a way culture stuff. And
yeah, well,
you know,
I mean,
because
that's us.
No, but I'm saying like, because gaming, it appears to many people that it's very, very easy to do, that a lot of people want to do it. And that's why you see people who aren't even in like the gaming sphere suddenly be like, I'm going to make a gaming channel now. And that's like, I'll reach even more
Start a
people.
gaming channel.
Yeah, and that just translates into all these other people are like, yeah, no, you can stream now too. No one watches these things.
No.
When the highest one's 548 people.
Well,
that's
to be fair, you got to opt into the beta client to watch. So I imagine the vast majority of people haven't done that yet. But I can't see
the reason people are watching it because, dude, dead ass. People are watching it for that ass.
Like the second top viewed stream is like 80 people.
Yeah, I cannot imagine this taking off, but simultaneously it doesn't really have to, because I think, again, its most useful feature is between friends. I don't like public broadcast to lots of people. No. That's of no use to anybody. And it's I'm not keen on the kind of investing development time into that. But hey, we'll see. It's if I've learned anything, it's never doubt Valve. So maybe they will pull it off. And let's not be the guys who were saying, YouTube gaming on YouTube, that'll never take off. Let's play on YouTube, no one's gonna watch that shit. Let's not be those guys, because those guys got left in the dust. Let's not make the same mistake.
Oh, I mean, I'll gladly say it and do it. I'll go full hypocrite on this. Like, guys, don't stream on the internet. It's stupid. But I will.
That's really dumb.
Don't do that. No. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, we don't want competition.
I don't want competition. Go become a scientist. Go to NASA. Go fly me to space. I don't need your competition.
Asking them to fly you to the moon and let you play among the stars?
That's what I am. That's what I am doing.
I see.
Something, Jupiter, Mars. Make it happen.
You don't even know the second line of that? Jesus.
Well, I was going to hope that they'd create rocket science and mathematics will take me to Jupiter and Mars. That's what I was going for.
Oh, dear. So
no, game won't take off. Minecraft.
Let's move on to Nintendo. Nintendo have apparently put a patent down on Game Boy emulation for use on mobile devices and in-flight entertainment.
I'm okay with this. What? I'm okay with this. I don't know that I know anyone who uses in-flight entertainment.
I know.
Besides movies, but
no, because
whatever.
Most people have phones or iPads these days, I think.
Yeah.
But I did get to watch Mr. Popper's Penguins when I last got on a plane, so that was good.
I will say sometimes now, especially, I remember before, long ago, back when Pan Am flew us across the country in 36 hours. Long ago,
When you had to pedal.
you got one movie, and it was whatever awful movie they had that was edited for a plane, right?
Yeah,
now
and
they
everyone
have,
had to watch it, yeah.
Yeah, now they have you can choose between all sorts of different things.
Yeah, it's on
And what I
demand.
think is-
At least they're on transatlantics. It's not. I've not flown a single flight in the U.S. that's had that.
Virgin America.
Oh, do they? Is
you're
it
absolutely
Virgin?
right.
Yep.
Well, I
Virgin
only
has
fly
that all the
U.S.
time.
Airways, so that's probably why they don't have any of that shit. But that's why I have an iPad,
They have really recent movies too. Like I've watched things before
that's
they're
what I'm
even out on
getting at, is
DVD or anything.
Oh,
They
yeah,
have
yeah, they
very
usually get
recent
that.
movies. They have recent movies that are ranging in all topics and all varieties from R to PG. The problem is some movies you'll play, and it's very awkward sitting next to a stranger watching
Yeah.
an R-rated sex scene go down in your movie, and you're just like, oh my.
Like the last time.
That's
No,
why you
two
watch an
times
iPad.
ago.
You can turn that shit away, like when that
Two
happens.
times ago, I was going to LA and I watched The Wolf on Wall Street on the plane, and I was just like, oh, he's doing some things.
Those are a bunch of hookers, is what they are. You're just like, oh my.
That's a dwarf being fired out of a cannon. That's highly offensive.
Yay! But I mean,
And you just sit there, and
3
there's just
hours.
a stranger next to you, like, I'm not judging the movie you're watching. So that's look, I might have problems. Like every time I go on a movie, I'm like, I mean, Lord of the Rings is pretty safe. I'm gonna choose something that it will not get me looked at like a weirdo.
I'll tell you this: when I'm on a plane, what I like to do, especially if the guy next to me has no in-flight entertainment, all I do is I turn the subtitles on my movie. And you'd be surprised how many people are actually grateful for that. They'll thank you at the end of the flight for doing it, because you kind of see them peeking over because they're bored, and you just turn the subtitles on and just let them watch it with that, and then they say thank you at the end of the flight. It's really cool. You should do that.
Yeah.
Just a nice little thing to do.
Strongly disagree.
You're an asshole.
Well, you can even on Virgin America, you can just watch TV for free. Like a bunch of channels are just free.
That's why
Everybody
Virgin's
gets their
the
own
best.
little
Let's
thing.
be clear. Virgin is clearly the
Yeah.
best.
I don't think Virgin
Like-
flies out of Charlotte Airport, so
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, because I've seen
That's
Chicago
the only way
to
Crendor would have traveled
Charlotte.
to you. That's
Really?
the only way he would have gotten to your house.
That's the only way I go
rather
anywhere.
not go.
Yeah, he
I'm
did,
not
he did
flying
fly
unless
to
I
us at
can
one point.
fly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they go a lot of places now. They've
Aye.
expanded.
Oh well, I might fly them then next time I actually have to get on a plane. Although next time I get on a plane, I have an intention of taking horse tranquilizers. So Anyway, let's talk about this gaming emulation thing. So I mean, this is kind of. Would you say this is a big deal for Nintendo, because they have been staunchly against putting their games on other platforms up to this point?
I think it would be fun to see some Nintendo games on a mobile device, like old school Nintendo. The problem is, I imagine they'll be shitty to play because you're playing it on a mobile device. I can't even imagine doing Mario trying
Without
to figure out how to use
controls.
this.
Oh fuck that! Yeah.
That'd be the
Yeah.
worst.
I mean, you'd have to.
And that's the most basic.
You'd have to
you
play
can
on
get.
an iPhone or an Android with one of those controller attachments or something.
Even that's a pain in the ass.
Oh.
I don't know that it's good. Great. I'd love to. Maybe Duck Hunt would be fun. Old school.
What,
that'd
just
be
tapping
great. You
the
just
screen?
tap it. Yeah. just tap it.
Well, I mean,
Maybe
why
they could
play?
do that.
Well, you might as well play Fruit Ninja, because I mean that's better Duck Hunt, right?
But I mean, they could say yeah, we're gonna update Duck Hunt. I mean, it just gives them ideas. But again, it seems like a really pain in the ass thing to do. Is play Mario, maybe Zelda. You could pull off old school Zelda.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
They've done a
the biggest
few,
problem.
obviously they released Pokemon TCG on iPad, but I mean that was kind of a web-based game anyway. They seem like they're slowly opening up to the idea of allowing some of their IP onto other systems, which a lot of people have been shouting for years that they've got to do it. And these jackasses also were saying the Wii U's dead 2 years ago. It's like, oh, they've got to become a third-party developer now. It's like, oh, hang on, all the best games this Christmas are all on Wii U. Huh. All right,
Me.
well.
I'm more than willing to admit that was me. I was that guy on this podcast. They just might as well be like Sega and just make games now because
I'm
they
proud
are
to say I'm
shit.
pretty sure I never said that. The only thing I said is you've got to get more good games. I didn't say they had to go third party. So I'm cool.
I agree.
They surprised.
I just wanted my
me
Mario
the
Kart
next
8,
thing.
and I got it.
I mean, they've released a bunch of good games. You can go play. Smash is good. Mario Kart 8 is good. Bayonetta 2 is really good. And it comes with Bayonetta 1, which is also really, really good. There's shit
That's
to
what
play
they
on
do.
that
I think
system.
Fire Emblem would be fantastic on a
On a Wii U?
iPad.
Oh, an iPad. Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
the original.
Fire Emblem on iPad could work really, really well.
Well, I
think.
mean, you can already play Final Fantasy Tactics on that, and that looks really well. It's expensive as shit because Square Enix has the most expensive games on iPad.
And they don't work at all. I somewhere in my account I have Chrono Trigger, which was played for about 2 hours and then immediately removed from my iPad. So that's heartbreaking.
The port of Bayonetta, people are asking, it's the definitive version. Like, the port of Bayonetta 1 is better than both the 360 and the PS3 version, so it's worth playing. So yeah, it's interesting to see them doing this. It makes sense, especially with their really ancient back catalog. I mean, why the fuck not milk it more? They've already been milking it with Virtual Console, right? So why the hell not? And I've said it before, if you don't offer this stuff for sale, then people will just emulate it, and they're not going to feel bad about it at all. I mean, some people still don't feel bad about it because for some people, $10 to $15 for like a N64 game is a bit much. But still, you're offering like NES games for $3 a pop or whatever. Okay, I can deal with that. I still think what they should have for Virtual Console is a monthly ticket. Like, subscribe and get access to all the Virtual Console stuff instead of having to buy it individually. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd actually be really cool. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, totally. Instead of like saying, oh, you know what I feel like today? I really feel like playing Streets of Rage, but I don't want to pay $10 for the privilege. But I've got a subscription, so I can just get whatever. I'd pick them up on that. I'd subscribe to that. That'd be good. Yeah. So that's that. That's a bit of news regarding that. What else has been going on in the news? Things have at least been happening. I mean, that's a plus.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed news.
holiday.
The other Assassin's Creed news. The
Free DLC.
free DLC, yes. So they have cancelled the season pass, basically. And they are giving the Dead Kings expansion, they're calling it, which I assume is kind of like the same size as Freedom Cry for Black Flag. They're giving it for free. That's going to be costing them a fair fucking amount of money, you would think.
Bad will will cost them more. I feel like this is their minor gesture to fix the fact that usually
I'd say it's more than a minor gesture. I'd go as far as to say that's actually a pretty big gesture.
Well, I think in context, they're giving away a DLC to a game that people don't want to play. They're like, please play this game. We'll give you DLC.
That's a fair point. It's like the game's
it.
still broken on pretty much all platforms. So I don't care about your DLC. Like, by the time your DLC comes out, I'm probably not going to go back to your game again.
I'm done with it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, especially with the number of games that get released on digital, games have a shelf life of interest level. And I think it's the reason why I don't ever buy season passes, because by the time your DLC comes out, I am done with that game. Like, I don't want to play it. I'm going to move on to something else.
What happened with Rome Total War? Even though it wasn't DLC, it was just the patch. Like, I didn't care anymore. I was like, whatever.
No, that game was broken for like a year. It's better now, but I don't give a fuck now. It's the year. Who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's other shit to play. There's too many good games to play. As much as people have been... I read this annoying Vice article, and every time Vice talks about video games, I tend to curl up in a little ball and, like, cry a little because they don't know what they're fucking talking about. But they put out this article that said, the best games of this year were the same games as last year. And they basically said that The Last of Us Remastered and GTA 5 are the best games this year. I'm like, did you even play any video games this year? Like, shitloads of amazing games. Like, maybe not the high-profile stuff, but there was some... Fucking Wolfenstein came out this year, and it was amazing. What the fuck are you doing? There's so many cool games this year. Yeah, I've been going through my list of stuff, and it was... I don't want to open this, because it might end up appearing on stream, and that would be a spoiler.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to open it. But yeah, I've got, like, my Game of the Year shortlist, where I'm trying to narrow it down to 10, and it's like, yeah, actually... They might not have been obvious, but there were actually a lot of good games that came out this year.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think the highest profile ones that have all been from Ubisoft have generally been a disappointment. That and The Sims 4 has also been a disappointment.
I feel like, a lot of them were really... I feel like if Shovel Knight is not in your top 10 this year, Shovel Knight was a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Like, that is a... If you're making top 10 lists, if that game isn't in... And that was a low-profile game that popped up out of nowhere and then was like, this game's fantastic. Like...
I hate the genre,
game.
and I love Shovel Knight. That's how good that game is. Now,
South Park had a good game.
South
I don't
Park
know
was
if it was
excellent.
Yeah, I don't know if it's top 10, but I'd say it's one of the best of the year.
I mean, it's top 1 in licensed games. Well,
maybe
top 2. I'd say it's still behind Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay because that game was incredible. But outside of that, what else came out this year that was great? I mean, Persona Q just came out, which everyone seems to be absolutely loving, kind of rightfully so. Transistor was out this year, which is fucking awesome.
Licensed game, I guess you could say Shadow of Mordor counts.
Shadow of Mordor was incredible.
Game.
Like, that's a really great game. Wasteland 2 came out this year. Divinity Original Sin came out this year. This is if you like traditional RPGs, then fuck.
Good year.
Good year. I mean, even Inquisition, a lot of people like. I'm still in two minds about it, but Inquisition is good. What else? I mean, there was stuff like
Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Mario Kart
8,
came out.
Smash Brothers, Bayonetta 2.
Nintendo killed this year. Yeah, they came
Age
out.
of Wonders 3 came out this year. That was awesome. There was This War of Mine. Some people would argue Titanfall. Hell, we had the best Call of Duty in the last 6 fucking years come out.
Yep, that's true.
Warlords of Draenor came out for WoW, which by all accounts is the best expansion they've made in a long fucking time.
Saved that franchise. Immediately saved it.
Alien Isolation came out this year that a lot of people really like.
Yeah.
Technically, didn't Hearthstone come out this year? It actually did, didn't it? Because it came out of open beta. I mean, obviously Hearthstone's really, really good. There's lots of good games.
Yeah, this was a great year for gaming. I feel like the fact that they're saying like, oh, it's just these means that they're probably
they don't
think that's
play
more
video
console
games.
players.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a console player thing.
Yeah, it's like you own an Xbox One, you think you know everything. It's like,
yeah,
okay, the best games that came out on consoles that have no good games on them, yes, those are the
You're
best
absolutely
games.
right. Yes.
If you own a PC or a Wii U or preferably both, you don't know what you're fucking talking about, mate. There's loads of good shit.
Oh well.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. Man, I've been meaning to check out Endless Legend, and I haven't had a
I
chance.
keep being told to do that.
And I downloaded it the other day, and it's just been sitting here, and I haven't played it yet. But everyone's like, dude, if you loved Civilization Fall from Heaven 2, you will love Endless Legend. I'm like,
Exactly what I've been told.
I need to touch this, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I've got it, but it's one of those games that ended up on my backlog, and I'm going to have to, hopefully in December, go through my backlog. Because the shit like Freedom Planet, which I played a few levels on, is really good, and I'm going around to covering that. And Endless Legend is another one. Dungeon of the Endless, of course, as well, is something that I want to be looking at. I never got around to playing Crusader Kings. I need to play that shit. There's all sorts of good stuff to play. But yeah, play Freedom Planet.
Really
if you
good.
like the original Sonic games, play fucking Freedom Planet. That is a game.
Well, this Saturday, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I am streaming Freedom Planet with GOG as part of a GOG promotion thing. So for about 2 hours Saturday, I'm streaming that game in particular on the GOG Twitch. So if you want to see that game and watch a guy who hasn't played a Sonic game in 20 years play a Sonic type game, you will enjoy that.
I like that game a lot. So far, anyway. Freedom Planet is really, really good. If you like the original Sonic games. I don't know, it's almost like it's half Sonic games and it's half just the good 2D Sega Saturn platformers that were out. Like, it feels like a Sega game, like a classic Sega game in every way. It's really nice. It's a lot of fun. Lethal League came out this year, as people remind me. Yeah,
Lethal
great game.
League.
Okay, yeah.
Candyman is the best.
Jeez. Some cool shit came out this year.
And a lot of it, here's what I love. A lot of it, indie or borderline indie games. Like, not much money thrown into them, but fantastic development. And I think that says a lot about AAA titles and how they're just like, we just keep pounding them out. People will buy them.
Yeah, because with AAA, for the most part this year, they made the same fucking games. And Ubisoft is the prime culprit of that. Outside of South Park and Child of Light, what do? They released 4 open world games using the same fucking mechanics. They even managed to shoehorn them into a damn racing game somehow. It's like, come on, Ubisoft. These are not tried and true. These are played the fuck out. If I have to climb another goddamn tower in another one of your goddamn games, I will just not play your games.
And here's the thing.
That's a threat.
They beat these ideas that, in theory, are very, very good. Like, the Assassin's Creed premise is awesome. Like, they beat them down
like 10
times
times now.
Yeah, they murdered, and that's what I think. It's sad. Like, Dead Space, phenomenal premise, murdered that franchise, right? Like, and that's EA. You have Call of Duty, a lot of really cool premise there, a lot of fun, murdered it. You have like all these things that you could take to the next level. Battlefield.
I think Call of Duty has made a comeback this year. I think there's some fresh ideas in there.
But that's one studio that's a one a year game. Like one studio had some good ideas. Like who knows what next year holds.
Oh, the
like,
next
it's one of
one.
those things where
If it's in, I think
shit.
it's Treyarch next time, so it might be good because they've been known to take risks. If it's Infinity Ward, it'll be fucking terrible. Because
it's one of those things.
Infinity Ward always smacks like they're an arrogant studio. I mean, have you ever got that feeling from them? And everything they've ever said, it's like, we know what we're doing and we will not brook any feedback. So we're going to make this game because we're the masters of it. And then they bring out...
Ever since they made Modern Warfare, the original one, they've just been like, we're the best. It's like, well, you made that good game and then you stopped making good games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. I forgot about... I would put
Hearts,
Valiant Hearts. Yeah, I forgot about Valiant Heart.
Yep. Fibbage came out this year. Fucking awesome.
Oh, Fibbage.
Yeah. I'm not. Someone was pointing out about the ones in Shadow of Mordor. I wouldn't be mad about the ones in Shadow of Mordor because you don't have to do a fucking climbing puzzle to get up to them. And frankly, they're not even that important and there aren't that many of them. So, yeah, they did towers, but they didn't overdo it. Whereas in fucking Assassin's Creed, and there's like 19 of the fuckers in Far Cry, and each one of them is a goddamn puzzle to climb.
Jesse loves puzzles.
I hate jumping puzzles. F those. F all. The thing that I... Seriously, Blizzard. F you for creating a grand. That is the worst zone. That is Vajir times like 12. Anyway, so no, I think that's interesting because Shadow of Mordor, they did have towers. You're right, but take the last map for example. 5 towers, maybe 10 zones. So you didn't even need to like go to all the towers would unlock multiple zones. Like you didn't need to do any of it.
They didn't overdo
it. Was just there.
Yeah.
It was easy. You climbed up a tower, hit a hammer. Bing, you got it, and you're done. It's like, that's great.
And the climbing the tower takes about 5 seconds. That's it. Like,
Less
there's no
than
puzzle
that, really.
involved
You
in
just
it.
jump.
Yeah. Whereas in Assassin's
it's
Creed,
like,
it's like we're gonna make every single one of these fuckers a challenge. Like,
and that's what they did in Watch Dogs, which pissed me off. Watch Dogs was like, you must hack a crane and then hack a like bulldozer and move things to make like a perfect platform to get up. And I was like, this is unnecessary. I just cut the fence, go in, and climb it. Like, all this shit, unnecessary. It is...
Speaking of challenges, the WoW Anniversary Molten Core. Turns out, not a lot of people know how to do Molten Core. And they made it, like, legit, like, old boss fights.
Oh, is it like it was? Like, you need, like,
exactly.
8 plus decursors and shit?
Yeah.
Decurse.
Yeah.
The problem is that since no one has used decurse on a hotbar for years,
Perfect.
No one knew. Crendor and I did it. It
That's
took us
beautiful.
maybe 4 hours, something like that. And we were like, the fact that I was consistently at the top of the damage meter, I was just like, who are these people playing with us?
Do you have to play with 40 people?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
It will not start unless you have
Oh my God.
And the 40 people who play...
They're just like, let's get around this trash. It's like, no, we pull all the trash.
Yeah, no
all
one
of the
gets it.
trash dies.
My favorite quote was this guy was like, we have to kill all the bosses? Like,
Oh, lovely.
I can't do this anymore. I can't.
We kept skipping
4
one
hours.
pack of trash, and then they'd always accidentally pull it.
Pull
and
it?
just-
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
No, I
and
have
then
no
there
idea
was
how to get through the flame impacts and shit. Oh.
the
People
core
aren't
hounds.
used to
Oh my
things
God.
respawning behind them as they went through the dungeon. So people would die and then run back and instantly drag like 100 things with them. And we're like, oh my God. Well, it's the worst
Core
experience.
hounds were the worst. There's always the one that got too low and it would die, and then the other 4 were up, and it was just
And
like,
then it just
just
res
get them
them
low
all.
and then
Yeah.
wait for it. Then they were just, it went on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They just couldn't figure it out.
I can't imagine that Major Domo Executus must have been a lot of fun with that group.
Oh
my
God.
God.
It was, no, everything was
Oh
fine.
yeah, we
I
actually
think
did well on
happens
Domo.
about the first 4 bosses was a mess and then after that people left and we just managed to do it because people weren't idiots. But
Yeah, the stupid
the
people
beginning was
leave
just
after,
like
an
banging
hour.
your head against the wall. It was awful. It was horrible.
Oh man, that sounds amusing. That sounds very, very amusing.
It is not.
Who
It
pulled
is-
the Surger with the Core Hound? I think
The Hunter did, but he's dead now. We love that. Yeah, that's what we're the entire
are
time
MC
I was
Raiders.
shouting that.
Yeah.
I was shouting it into the raid, and like 1 or 2 people would be like, "Yeah," and everyone else was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh no, we're
Fair
dead."
and get in fight.
Like, oh,
Nobody
no.
ran. We would just keep dying because everybody would be
people
like,
would
run
explode
away.
on-
And like, I would just call out the people like, you have a bomb on you. They just didn't move and just exploded. Everybody died. I was like, yep.
Oh, that would be lovely.
And here's the best part.
Here's what they should do: re-release Cthulhu and have people go into that. They're fucked, mate.
No.
Oh
There's
my
people
god!
complaining
best-
like,
Blizzard, this isn't a fun event. I had to spend like 5 hours of my day doing this.
I was like,
Welcome
to raiding.
to what we did for 5 fucking years.
yep.
You casual
The,
bastards.
The best
just a
part
month.
about it is the reward for you get nothing from any of it till the very last boss, till Ragnaros. And at Ragnaros, you get a helm and then you get a mount, right? But then there's a 0.3% drop to get 2 other things, which is a little pet and then a item that you can use to like enchant your weapons.
Okay.
0.3. That means you'd have to suffer through that.
Holy fuck.
How many times? I don't. No.
Well, it's like
no,
50
Blizzard.
people out
I'm
of
done
the
with
40 get the thing. And you just like,
Oh
well,
my.
keep running it till you get. It's like, I don't care enough.
No, I just
I'm
don't
not
care.
going through this.
Don't care.
Filthy casuals.
Oh,
It's
worst.
beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up with the releases. And then, well, since we have a Dodger replacement here, Crendor, this is your duty.
Crendor.
All right.
Begin.
I shall begin.
Begin.
December 2nd, The Crew comes out. So
That's
today. Yeah.
Yes, it's out.
Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 remix for the PS3.
Oh, that's
Seriously?
relevant.
Seriously, guys,
The
I'm gonna be
HD
honest.
remix of the PS3. Great.
I'll be honest though. Honest, if you intend to get Kingdom Hearts 3 and you have never played any of the 3DS games, get 1.5 and 2.5 remix because you will not know what the shit is going on in Kingdom Hearts 3. Just letting you know, pick those up if you intend to get Kingdom Hearts 3. Just giving you a warning. Because you'll be like, what is this game? So, that's for you
Exact
nerds.
reaction.
Okay.
Yep.
Fantasy Hero Unsigned Legacy for the PlayStation
What?
Network.
It's Vita.
V?
Yeah, it's for
Oh,
Vita.
Vita?
It is.
Is that a
It's an
soccer
action
game
RPG.
football?
Action
Oh.
RPG. It's from Arc System Works, which is usually a good sign. And it is, well, it's an action RPG. Apparently, it has 4-player co-op, and it looks kind of neat. That's all I can say about it right now. But it's
Alright.
another Vita game. I mean, fuck. If you like Japanese games, the Vita is the console to buy, because that's all you get.
Yep.
We got Final Horizon for the Vita and PS4.
2 games for the Vita in 1 week. Is it Christmas? It's,
Almost.
what is Final Horizon?
I'm looking it up now. It looks like
It's a tower defense game.
maybe.
Yeah,
I can't figure out what it is.
it's a tower defense by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So okay, fair enough.
Secret Ponchos for the PS4.
Ah,
It's a lot
that's
of fun.
finally out. Yeah, it's a Western deathmatch game that's played from an isometric kind of perspective. It's nice art style. Met the devs.
The one problem I
like a
have
year
is
ago
you
with
can't. I have yet to play a version of it. Maybe it exists now, but I've yet to play a version where you can do local multiplayer.
Really?
I've only.
I think the first time I played it, it was on the same console. Yeah. I think they had it
you can't
networked,
do it.
didn't they?
You can't do. We
Well,
tried to do it for multiplayer mayhem because I was like, I love this game and I want to play it with the guys for multiplayer mayhem, and literally we couldn't do it.
Well,
so
I mean, I don't see
that's
how you
sad.
could because the arenas are too large. You couldn't fit everything on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you
it's
could do
hard.
split screen, maybe.
You definitely cannot. I've tried. It does not exist. But
Okay.
it's a fun game. The characters are a lot of fun. All their abilities, it's really easy to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, if you like those games where you just murder and you get to be cool cowboy characters, grab it.
Yep.
We got Siberia for the PlayStation 3 network.
That game
That's
is
an old
literally
school game.
12 years old and
Yeah.
available on
All
right.
Steam for $2. So I'd suggest you maybe get it there instead.
All right. And Game of Thrones Episode 1.
Yep, that's on pretty much all formats. I don't think is it out on iOS yet?
No, they always release a week later on iOS.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know
says-
why, but they always do.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'd see in 2 days. iOS on
All right.
Thursday, apparently. So, yep. I mean, those are good games to play on mobile devices, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
December 4th, we got Dead State.
Oh, that's finally coming out. I actually backed out on Kickstarter a long time ago. I think it's been in early access for a while. It's shown promise. It's a zombie survival tactical RPG.
One of my very good friends does the voice of woman in that game. So if you hear a
Woman,
woman
okay.
screaming,
Woman.
that's her. Yeah.
I like the name of the
it's got
studio.
really good
They're called
reviews.
Double Bear. So there's that.
Interesting. Yeah, it's got a lot of good reviews so
Yeah.
far too.
Yeah,
People
I
like it.
ignored all the alpha builds because I couldn't be asked for that stuff. I know I did play it at PAX like a year and a half ago. The build was really ropey at that time, but it's obviously come on a lot. So I hope that it comes out and ends up not sucking. That would be nice.
Yeah. December 5th, we got the NEX Remix Pack for the Wii U.
Yep,
Look, I
NES
want
Remix.
that. I want to play that. I want to play that and enjoy it. I can't wait.
Along with the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Wii
Dude,
U.
that game's
Yes,
so much
yes.
fun. Shut up. That game's so much fun. I've played that too
Captain
much, and I
Toad.
want to let you know, if you enjoy puzzle games, it's a hoot. It's just a real treasure tracker. So- no, seriously, play that. Like, if you have kids, grab some kids. If you don't have kids, grab some
Just
kids.
grab them. Grab them
Play
off the
that,
street.
play that game. With
You're like,
Don't
you're
do
gonna play
any
this
of the
game.
things that Jesse is currently suggesting.
If you don't have kids, grab some kids.
If
need
you
kids,
value your
get some
freedom
kids.
and or moral decency, do not do any of those things.
But it's cool, and you play as Toad and then Fem Toad, whatever her name is, Lady Toad, and then you save each other. Like you go
Fem
back and
Toad.
forth saving each other. It's very cute.
Okay.
Feb Toad.
Maybe they should stop getting, kidnapped all the time, and then that wouldn't happen.
That's how they keep the relationship spicy. TV. Like, I'll kidnap you, then you kidnap me.
Oh, God.
I love you, Toad. I love you too, baby.
Moving swiftly on.
There's also Ultimate NES Remix for the
Jackass.
3DS and 3DSe.
Yes.
December 9th, we have Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney
Ace
Trilogy,
Attorney,
not
all right.
Eternity.
Okay.
An eternity of Phoenix Wright games.
I'd be okay with that, actually.
And Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris for the PS4.
Yep, that's another one of the isometric ones. Guardian of Light was really good. I don't know if this one's going to be any good, but we'll see. And that pretty much wraps it up for this week's releases, by the looks of it.
Oh, and Hearthstone, December 8th.
Yes, of
Ta-da.
course, the Hearthstone expansion. The only thing
Yep.
that matters in that entire release list.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps us up for the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, Dodger will be back next week. And let's plug what we're going to be doing, shall we? Sounds good.
Plugs.
Plugs indeed. Crendor, what's coming up on your channel?
Well, I'm wrapping up Warcraft 3 now. I've literally just got the Frozen Throne Undead campaign, which is Arthas going to Northrend. And I'm going to beat Husky, and that makes me very happy. And I also have some new WoW stuff coming out. I got more pointless top 10s where I make top 10 lists out of really pointless things in WoW. That's always a fun series. Like I made top 10 ceilings. That actually was really cool because there's a lot of ceilings that nobody looks at and they look really cool. And you're like, wow, someone put a lot of effort into that nobody actually ever noticed. And then I'm working on my
You're living the
non-content
dream, buddy. You're living the
RPG
dream.
with RPG Maker VX Ace. I'm designing greatest game ever created.
Oh,
It is in progress. It's going to be finished by the end of the year. On January 1st, I'm going to release it. It'll be pay what you want to play it. You can pay the minimal amount that on PayPal. It makes it so you don't like
1 cent. One
Yeah,
cent. Give
no,
him,
you can't pay.
Give him
It'll be like
1
40 cents. It's got TB. It's got
What?
Dodger. It's
I didn't
got
license any of this. What the fuck?
well, it's got a persona of TB.
Call him BT. You're good. BT. You're good.
And
Selling my likeness, you fuck.
whole bunch of stuff. It's got the MOBA community in it. It's got a dating sim in it. It's got early access in it. It's got a hard mode level. It's got anything you can imagine in this non-content RPG. It's got an amazing storyline. It's got open world sandbox levels, a literal
Does it have
sandbox
towers?
level.
Towers you can climb.
You need towers that you can
Oh.
unlock.
There will be towers. Pretty much people just tell me what to add.
Microtransactions.
My currency is actually DLC. That's how you buy things in the game. You get grind tokens, and you can
Oh,
spend it on in-game DLC. You can buy pay-to-win stuff, so you get a pay-to-win attack. You can buy pay-to-win to beat a level, or you can just buy pay-to-win on items. Or, so it's a great game. It's going to be made. You need to stay up to date with all this great stuff on youtube.com/WoWCrendor, facebook.com/Crendor, twitter.com/WoWCrendor, twitch.tv/Crendor. Follow, subscribe, you get a high five. Makershit.com/collection/WoWCrendor. Zombie Dragon shirts off 40% if you enter the code Crendor. Free shipping. I'm done.
Cool. Jesse?
Hey, yeah. So I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna continue with Far Cry 4 and Dragon Age. Dragon Age may continue for another 27 years. I may be doing it.
And you'll still be in the hinterlands by the end of it.
Still be in the hinterlands. Everyone will be like, Jesse, you gotta move on. I'll be like, never. Yeah, I that's gonna continue. We'll actually get back on schedule because of how messed up November was. There were very few Fan Fridays and multiplayer mayhems and green lights over the weekend. The weekend schedule was a mess, but we'll get back to that this week. And then Saturday, there will be a stream of me at GOG playing this game, Freedom
Planet, yes.
Planet World.
Oh yeah,
I was about to say world.
SoundCloud.com/CoxandCrendor.
Oh, that's the thing. Go there. And then I think that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything cool that's happening. Look, the normal stuff I do is still going to be happening. I don't change it up much, guys.
Nope.
I am your constant. I am your constant in an internet of variables.
Are you the candle in the wind?
I am like a candle in the wind for you. Except I don't. I'm a candle that it contains lots of oil because I don't blow out. I'm always going to be there. Unlike everyone else in your life, I'm always going to be there for you. Watch me. YouTube.com/Jesse Cox.
Yep.
Twitter @Jesse Cox. Facebook the Jesse Cox. Instagram Notorious COX. And go look at my thing on the Steam.
Please stop whispering.
On the Steam thing. On the Steam thing.
Please
Go to my
stop
Steam
whispering.
curator list. I want to whisper it to you because we're close. We're all close now.
No, we're not at all.
Kidnap some kids and play Captain Toad. They'll love it. You have kids that are kidnapped. You need to keep them entertained.
God.
Kid just gets
Captain
kidnapped and they
Toad.
come find you and they like arrest you. He's like, but I had fun playing Captain Toad's Adventure.
See? And as they pull you away in handcuffs, I was just playing Captain Toad.
Sure you were, guy.
So
That's what they call it these days.
Well, I don't know what's going to be coming out this week, because as people are probably aware, I start my round of chemo tomorrow, so I don't know how it's going to affect me. We'll see. I have lots of pills and medicine. I'm sure everything will be fine. So,
Make vlogs.
Yeah, maybe. I might just be horribly lazy and make Hearthstone videos of opening packs and shit. But what's probably gonna end up happening is I'll most likely change my work schedule where I have 4 days off and 10 days on or whatever. So I'll do what I can do. You know, I already did one round of chemo and I was able to get out a decent amount of videos. So we'll see how that goes. But outside of that, the podcast should be pretty normal. I mean, this is why I've set my chemo is Wednesday every 2 weeks, and we have the podcast on Tuesday, so I should be good to go for all of that. And if you wouldn't mind voting for either me or Jeff Gerstmann, I don't really mind who you vote for on that, frankly. Jeff Gerstmann deserves it probably a lot more than me. Though I hear he hates being called a gamer, so actually giving him that award might be a great way to stick it to him. So you could do that. And if you go to nominees, thegameawards.com/nominees, down at the bottom there's trending game, where it's a publicly voted category. The voting ends in a couple of days. So if you do want to vote there, that would be awesome. It's entirely up to you.
I'm going to make my own award show now. If everyone can make award shows, why can't I make an award show?
It's funny you mention that, actually. I can, next year after all this is done, I'm really considering putting together an indie game kind of festival, sort of award show thing that's run by YouTubers. With I think the indie game festival's got about 50,000 in prize money. Raise that amount of money and do sort of an indie game award show where we send games to different YouTubers to showcase them, and then we kind of decide amongst ourselves which is the best and kind of promote them. I thought it would be pretty cool. That'd be something that is worth doing.
That sounds I was just gonna be I like this. You win an award. That's what I was gonna do. The Jesse Cox Awards. And
Didn't we talk about that on a Cox and Crendor episode? You'd I'd make the Cox Awards or something and give them
the
Cox
shitty because you're lazy. But
kids would get the Coxies. I'd be it sounds like a disease. It sounds like the disease you get after you've been kidnapped to play.
Oh my god. All right, folks, that wraps up the co-optional podcast. Thank you very much for watching. We do not endorse anything that Jesse Cox says on this show. And we're about done. Thank you very much, folks, and we will see you next week, hopefully. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.